few times, say like 3 over, or you know, the bead. So I'm trying to think not too wide for them. But then you take you've got 2 ends, obviously 2 loose ends. So what you would do is take your chain nose pliers and wrap it round, and you don't have to be neat with that at all. You just got to make sure that end, the spiky end, is nowhere to be seen. So you just make sure that's squidged down. Yeah. And then the other side exactly the same. So just make it disappear around. And if you have, in fact, for my bangle, I think I did more than this. I did this, and then I got another piece and wrapped it continually around as well, brought it all together. So I would, you know, just take another bit of wire, just to make it not just loose here, but you see how you can just bind like that, bind and bind. So cover the whole of the piece with wire like that, but keep it tight, because if you don't wrap it tight, you'll end up with sort of gaps when you start hammering. They'll open up. And then you're going to, once you've made your framework, you're going to put it on the bangle mandrel, and then it's called whammer therapy as far as I'm concerned, because you can think of something that's been annoying you all day, and you see, so that is your starter point. Then you'd put it on your bangle mandrel, which I haven't got obviously here. And then you would hammer it. So haven't got another hammer. You'd hammer it that way around the mandrel, and that would flatten it and work harden all the outer edge, so that when you come to put your little gemstones, weave them on, they're sitting on a flat base all the way round. So that's how you'd make a ring base. So anything, whenever you're making bangles, always think, if I scale it down, it's a ring, or vice versa.
Or a connector.
Or a connector. I've done necklaces, connectors like this, yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Because you could almost like link them together, couldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted a circular necklace, you see that now, if I hammer that this
and you
way,
can hammer that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, what I should say is, I said don't hammer a wire that is wrapped over the other, but that's just one single wire. When you put a mass of wires together and they become a sort of a mass, then you can hammer that mass, and you basically are compressing all those things together and creating one big solid mass. It's like a metal base. So now this is solid. See that?
Yeah.
I can wire around that. I can make it as a connector and make lots of these and make big chunky chains, these different sizes. I can wire beads inside them. But this is like having a solid piece, you know. So when you hammer it that way, it's a bangle, but this way it's a connector or a framework. Yeah.
Now, jewellery makers, a lot of you are messaging into the studio. You're all excited to see the Zambian amethyst, well, to see all the coins. And if I cast my mind back, maybe, I don't know, maybe 3-4 years, the faceted coin was our #1 seller. It was our #1 shape. And it's still the case. We see it far less now, but when they do appear on our screens, they're on and they're gone. They disappear. And I do get it. It reminds me a little bit, excuse me, it reminds me a little bit of an old rose cut gemstone, you know, where they actually had the kind of flat bottom and the bulk of the carat weight was actually on the top, which was faceted in the same way that the, similar, I should say, to that of your faceted coins. But you get that on double side. So absolutely beautiful way of faceting a gemstone. We've got 100. We're going to start with the Zambian amethyst. And I will tell you, more than a quarter of the stock have already gone.
Wow.
60 seconds until the graphics appear. It has been, it's been a long time since I've ever spoken about Zambian amethyst at depth. And I do mean years. I'm not saying you haven't seen it at all on your show since then, but they've been very, very sporadic. We had 3 strands with Mark, if you remember, the rounds. About a month or 2 ago, I bought them. They were on, and gone in 2 minutes. And we had a much bigger quantity, and they weren't faceted coins either. So they haven't been replayed because they sold out on that launch. It's the same parcel, same quality. The best way to describe the perfect amethyst, regardless of the location, is think of Cadbury's. I've said it. That's that brand. When I say chocolate box purple, I'm referring to that brand. That's the finest example of amethyst.
Yeah.
The graphics are live. Good luck to each and every single one of you jewellery makers. I don't want you to miss out on this. I mean, imagine those in a big, beautiful chocolate box purple tassel. I love the idea of creating matching bangles as well that you could stack up together. We have 100 available opportunities, jewellery makers, and that's it. That's it. It's on and gone. Amethyst is one of those gemstones. I mean, I know it's been quite elusive on our screens of late, but everyone knows it, don't they, straight away?
Yeah. If you're selling jewellery, everybody knows what amethyst is, and they know they can see the quality. So it's one of my, if I'm selling, it's the one
top seller.
Yeah.
Mark always used to say the same. Mark, whenever he was selling his jewellery, always said the same. He'd have to put a third of his display was amethyst, because that would be the one that would sell out. I mean, look at that. Especially like you said with Valentine's Day and Mother's Day on the horizon as well.
So that one's got tiny little seed beads to separate the one you're looking at. It's got the amethyst coin beads and then a tiny seed bead between to space it out, because I wanted those coin beads, those amethysts, to really stand out. And just having a space between them gives you that
pop.
Yeah.
Amazing. And make no doubt about it, here is a gemstone that is, it's considered. It's very considered, especially, I'm going to say, when it's got this perfection of colour. I can show you a gorgeous beaded necklace set into, it's gold vermeil. So, I mean, you could take inspiration from that, jewellery makers. You could create amethyst tassels, can't you? £320 for that. But look at the quality of that wonderful purple, and then also look at the quality that you're sourcing from Jewellery Maker. Know that yours is totally and utterly natural. What about capriccio bracelets? That would be amazing, wouldn't it? Because the faceted coin would sit flat, beautifully, on the back of your wrist. So it'd be perfect alongside like a capriccio bracelet, or you're weaving. I absolutely love, excuse me, Linda's demonstration. Now, we've got 100 of these available, jewellery makers. I can see you all queuing up, ready and waiting. And I know you're thinking, it's January, Elle. I need a really good deal. Trust me when we say, you've got the big 5. Would we all agree, outside of that, this is your number 6, isn't it? Everybody knows amethyst. Yeah. This or aquamarine, I would say. They're the ones that we always say, that's a 6 to the big 5. Yeah, look at that. A men's amethyst Orissa bracelet. Very similar to the biography bracelet. £125. And it's not... They've teamed up with Black Spinel. Oh, how perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't actually say if that's silver. It is, okay. £125. Almost half the stock has gone. The other half are absolutely going to disappear, and it's going to do so at the first price crash. First. It's Zambian amethyst. That's like me bringing you a strand of Colombian emerald. It's widely considered to be the finest location in the world because of that. The colour saturation. It's not just that, actually, because with amethyst, yes, you want to have the perfect saturation, but you also want the perfect tone and the perfect hue. Don't forget, amethyst is highly pleochroic. So you will get secondary flashes of colours from the gemstone depending on the angles that you're actually looking at. You get strong pops of pink and blues within this beautiful gemstone. We are not stopping there, jewellery makers. We knew it was going to create a frenzy straight away on the first price crash, but we are not stopping there. We're also, we're under 20 quid for Zambian amethyst. How often do we bring you, again, I know this is a different gemstone, but would I sit here and say, oh, Mogok ruby, the best location in the world of ruby, Colombian emerald, just 20 quid? Would I say under 15? We're bringing you that type, quad A grade. If amethyst had a grading system, this would be your quad A's, wouldn't it? It would go beautifully with the malachite, the contrast, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And there's two rich, very rich, regal colour gemstones.
I always think of African violets, you know, the flowers with the purple, the purple and the green.
Lovely.
Yeah.
And what colour wire would you work with those if you're going down the wire route?
Well, obviously malachite looks gorgeous with gold.
Yeah.
You've got that yellow and it just warms it up, doesn't it?
Yeah, I agree.
I'm more a silver person to wear. You know, I'd wear. So you can, with these two colours, I think with the purple, in fact, it's Wimbledon colours, isn't it?
It is actually. Yeah, perfect Wimbledon colours.
The purple and the amethyst and the malachite with silver would look stunning.
Would be lovely.
Yeah.
Now, this bracelet, by the way, is using purples of your amethyst, black of the spinel, and they're using blue. I'm not sure what their blue is. Theirs is lapis. But as a bit of inspiration, we have neon apatite for the blue. We have 31 of these left within the vault, jewellery makers. So 2/3 of the stock is gone. A minute clock, brand new to our screens. If it follows suit like Mark's Zambian Amethyst strands did, it won't see another show. In 60 seconds, we're taking it even lower. Everybody pays the final low, whether you were the first person or the very last person to get involved, jewellery makers. Everybody pays that final low. That's unbelievable, Roscoe, because...
Yeah, that's good.
Excuse me. It's a full 38 centimetre strand of faceted coins. Do you want to know, we've just done a little tally, or rather Ross has, do you want to know how many other Zambian amethyst strands we have in our entire vault here at JewelleryMaker? Do you want to know? 1. Smooth rondelles. That's it. That's all we have. That's how difficult it is to get hold. Loads and loads and loads of history of Zambian amethyst, and they all have a big fat 0 in terms of quantity. We have one other strand other than this one. Whenever it's on our screens, it's on and it's gone. You saw it with Mark's, that was a project hour as well, wasn't it? Same hour, ready, steady, make, on, gone. 300 quantity. $12.99.
Oh, that's good.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? It's a full 38 centimetre strand, jewellery makers. By the way, Ross is just saying the guide price that I have before me is $19.99. He says, but if I know I can bring a better deal, I always will. I always will. But one thing but we should perhaps consider, or certainly mention, you know, we haven't just stopped buying Zambian amethyst through choice. We would never make that conscious decision. It is, you know, if you'd have asked me 10, 15 years ago, what's the best location for amethyst, I'd have always said Zambia. I'm not saying only there, but it's widely considered to be the best location in the world because of that richness of colour. We haven't just stopped buying through choice. It's through actual accessibility of the actual, the quality. You know, Gemfields used to mine Zambian amethyst, Zambian emeralds as well. Have you noticed you haven't seen any Zambian emerald for a long time? Have you noticed that? It's because literally it's dwindling rapidly. I don't want to say completely deplete, because I don't know that for certain, but I reckon it must be there or thereabouts. Keep on dialing through, jewellery makers, because I'm going to have to do the Neon Apatite next, because it's flying on pre-order, and I don't want it to sell out before we even bring it to air. So there is only 80, so this is even more limited. Look at the length of those strands.
That's stunning, that colour.
Isn't it?
I love it.
They do work beautifully together.
They do.
Certainly. And you know, Ross has just said something. He's like, Neon Apatite, one of the most popular gemstones here at JewelleryMaker. But if you'd have asked me that when I first started here at JewelleryMaker 12 years ago, I'd never have believed you that it had become one of our most popular. Not because it wasn't beautiful, but because we just saw so little of it. And also, the strands, true, we still do, the strands were really short. Do you remember? When we first had Apatite, the strands were only about 20 centimetres in length, usually anyway. This is a full 38 centimetres. The jewellery editor recently wrote about Zambian amethyst. No, sorry, I'm stuck on Zambian now, aren't I? On Neon Apatite. Neon. I don't want to separate those though, because I think they look absolutely beautiful together. And they speak about a particular designer, one that's familiar to your producer today, actually. So they say, Canadian-born designer Kat Florence has an eye for rare gems and hunts down unusual stones from all over the world. She discovered Neon Apatite 2 years ago whilst travelling through Bahia in Brazil. Its colour rivaled the finest quality and the most valuable Paraiba tourmaline at a fraction of the price, she says. This is what's important here. The value of apatite depends primarily on colour saturation. So we're not talking about clarity, we're talking about colour saturation. So specimens with a high colour intensity command the best price. Size does matter when it comes to apatite, since finding larger stones weighing over 1 carat is extremely rare. And you will see, yeah, Kat Florence's pieces are eye clean, so yes, they've got clarity, but you will also see within that article there's designs where the actual apatite itself are quite opaque. It's not really the opacity like your emerald. It's not really the opacity as long as it doesn't interrupt the vivacity of the actual gemstone. So look at these, £680. That's like I was going to say rose cut, but it's not, is it? It's like I can't remember what they call that now. It's like where it's almost like chamfered away. Again, Greek jeweler design. I love the inspiration behind that. It's cool, isn't it? Mm. But you can see it's not eye clean. It's not pristine eye clean gemstones. It's actually quite opaque. It's all about the saturation. Now I'm going to give you a heads up. The neon apatite, when you consider the rare, it naturally forms at less than 0.15 carats. So granular sizes. You've got a full 38 centimetre strand here, jewellery makers. And your graphics are live. Don't wait. If you are a neon apatite lover, dial in nice and early. I've only got 80 of these, so it's far more limited. Your first price crash. $29.99. That's unbelievable for neon apatite. Do you know, in my entire Gemporia career, both here at JewelleryMaker and across on our sister channel, I could probably count on my pair of hands the amount of neon apatite shows I've done. I don't think we've done like a whole hour on JewelleryMaker, maybe 4 or 5 pieces. But if I'm including like Gemporia as well, I've certainly done less than this many showcases of this gemstone. Mm. Now, this has been the most popular on pre-order in a big way, jewellery makers. We're going to do something ridiculous in the next price crash. And after we've just done what we've done with the Zambian amethyst, we should categorically close here. Oh, I knew you were going to say that. Can you guess what he's just said in my ear? He says I'm going to match the price out. you can get both of these faceted coins for less than what? £30. And you used, Linda, how many in that bangle? How many individual stones?
I've used 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I don't know why 13, but they're 13. You could use 12. And that's dependent on the size of the bangle. And then the rings, I've used, say, like 3.
Yeah.
You see the little rings? That's the same sort of.
And look how they pop because of the strength of the saturation. It goes back to that Jewellery Editor article, doesn't it? Mm. These will be an on-screen sellout, Jewellery Makers. We're going even lower than $19.99. Absolutely unbelievable deal for Neon Apatite. Again, if you got the amethyst, you need the Neon Apatite, don't you?
Yeah.
What did you say, less than £30, Ross, with quite considerable change? You could add some of those spaces, couldn't you? Yeah, I'm not surprised that this is absolutely flying. I remember neon amethyst, if we saw it on our screens, they'd be short strands with tassels on the end. And you'd be talking about 50 quid. You would. And by the way, that was a fair price. It was more than fair at £50. They were usually rondelles as well. We never saw them in fancy cuts, really, did we? It's only really of recent years that we've started seeing things like your rounds, your faceted rounds, your coins. So it's rare to get hold of these kind of fancy cuts. At £12.99 only, this will be an on-screen sellout. Look at those together. Absolute perfection, aren't they? Now, the black spinel is coming up momentarily. It's available on pre-order. There's less than 20 of the neon apatite. Zambian amethyst is also limited now. Let's now, introduce the black spinel.
Oh, that just twinkles and flashes, and it's so beautiful.
Yeah. This, you know, we've had the Golden Globes. Is it the Golden Globes we've had recently?
Yeah, the American Globe, yeah.
I bet there was a few black spinels on that red carpet. Mm. It's a proper showbiz gemstone.
It is.
This gem.
It's red carpet, isn't it?
Because it responds so beautifully to the paparazzi flash, doesn't it? Every single facet, of which, of course, your faceted coins have multiples. Just reacts and plays with the light so beautifully. That's natural. Mm. Of all your black gemstones, and look, there's loads of amazing, beautiful black gemstones, I will always gravitate towards spinel. Always. Because it is that showstopper, you know? Because when you look at it this way, you can't, with a black spinel, it's opaque, isn't it? So it's not internal. You're not going to get brilliance. You're not going to get fire. You're not going to get scintillation or even refraction. So everything has to work on the exterior of the gemstone. So that faceting needs to be perfect, which if I just rock my hand back and forth, you can see it absolutely is. You need to have the perfect luster. And with a spinel, it's mirror-like luster. Mm. It's like the Akoya pearl in the world of luster. Now, this is the last of the Ready Steady makes. And for that, Roscoe. He says, I'm going to do something extra special. I'm not going to stop here. Really? Natural black spinel? We've got 100, haven't we? Who wants these under? Who wants this under £10 today? You know those 2 mil spaces that we had earlier on? They'd be perfect with that, wouldn't they? Just literally I remember us first launching the faceted coin. They weren't $12.99 back then, and they shouldn't be today. Today we're going to bring it to you even less. We have 100, should say. Well done, Marion, Angela and Sheila, and Somerset getting 2, and Sharon and Linda in Tennessee. Jane in Worcestershire getting 3, 5, Tyne and Ware, Robert, Linda in Devon, Cambridgeshire, Janet, Natalie, Paula. I've got 100 available. 100 available. And we're going under £10 for you today. Each of these would complement so beautifully the malachite that's coming up. Each of these, wouldn't they? They all would work amazingly. You could do your capriccios. I love Linda's technique of the bangle, and I'm hoping I see pieces like that on the Wall of Fame. £9.99 only. Unbelievable. You could just literally put a couple in there, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could just do the wire lacy bit and then just have 2 or 3. Yeah.
You could have make it quite symbolic and personal to you. You could have per, I don't know, friend or family member, or don't forget it's also a birthstone.
Yeah.
So Spinel, if you are an August baby, this is your new birthstone.
I didn't know that. Yeah, I thought August was malachite actually, but is it Spinel?
Spinel is Spinel's August, yeah.
Oh.
Along with peridot.
Yeah,
Along
green.
with peridot.
It's usually green, isn't it?
Yeah. So amazing. Malachite.
Yeah, green, because my mum is August, and I've often made her, a malachite piece or anything with a green stone.
Okay.
A green aventurine, but malachite.
Oh, okay. So, I didn't know that. Not sure. I didn't know malachite was a gemstone, but I suppose it could be done on colours, couldn't it?
Well, maybe I've read
There's
it
different versions,
somewhere else.
though.
But
there's also lots. There's like USA versions, UK versions. So I guess.
Elle, I trust your word.
No.
Better than
I'm
mine.
sure if we went on there would be malachite. So, and you know what? I don't think there's rules in the world of jewellery. You do what you want to do. I don't know, I've learned something today. So black spinel, yes, beautiful. It's absolutely flying out the door. So let's do a little bit of math, shall we? I love those earrings, by the way, Linda. They're amazing.
They're earrings. Can you see they look like ears? I used the tassels from the end of the strand.
That's incredible. But again, it's the strength of the gemstone. £36 for all 3 strands. And you're going to make masses, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can see I've spread them out on some of them. So some jewellery pieces just have 2 or 3 of the tiny, not tiny, on the 4mm, and others are full of them. So you can really make these strands work for you.
We've shown before, actually, Linda. There's a necklace that I think it was Jennifer Aniston wore. It's quite daring, on some red carpet somewhere. And she's got this sort of very low line neck dress, and it's just got a single strand of black spinel. That's they're delicate stones, but because they are actually smaller in their size, you can still see that beautiful luster. You can still see that it's so elegant.
It's because they're black. That's the thing. It'll stand out whatever, won't it? Because it's black.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done, everybody. Make sure you're checking out your baskets. Now, excuse me. We're gonna stick with the faceted coins. And I'm gonna bring you some more amazing gemstones, jewellery makers. So, casually, we're gonna do some natural African ruby.
Oh, wow.
You can use it in the same technique because they're the same size, same cut. I'd use these with the spinel. So 95% of the world's ruby is treated. And there have been articles recently published. My go-to is always the jewellery editor when I'm sort of preparing or trying to put together a PowerPoint. And this is interesting reading, actually. So I've only got, how many? 23? Yeah. So I'll fly through this, but shop ahead on this. So now, African rubies are set to fill the void left by Burmese rubies with their flashes of rich red. With prize Burmese ruby mines virtually deplete. They believe it's going to be about 5 to 6 years before the Burmese ruby mines are deplete. Gem hunters have turned to Africa in their quest to find the perfect red gemstone. And I also want to show this as well, I'm not making necessarily all the comparisons here on the designs or the value, but what I am showing you here is they are beads. Yes, the focal one is actually a faceted oval, but have you noticed they are beaded rubies at the top of that neckline piece? This is a Cartier piece of jewellery created in platinum, set with 15.29 carats of oval-shaped ruby from Mozambique alongside rose-cut and pear-shaped diamonds. and cabochon cut rubies as well. The ruby choker can be detached and worn separately from the diamond necklace.
Wow.
We've also got, I always reference these earrings because I think they're absolutely fantastic. Again, smooth rondelles. That's Cartier working with smooth rondelles. Just a casual $250,000 US dollars, by the way, if you want to get those. But again, the big designers will work with beads. That's my point. And they are looking at locations like this because we are going to have to sort of fill that void that is going to be left by the depletion of your Burmese jade. Now, we're at £99 and 99 pence, under £100 for 30 carats of ruby. No way near where we're closing. We are super limited, so what we're going to do is go straight down to it. Let's do it. Oh. I mean, we've become very blasé about this. Oh, what did you just say? I bought 30 carats of natural ruby. Oh, did you? How much did that set you back? 20 quid. You know?
That is, yeah. And you can see, you could just use 2 or 3 in a piece. So you could make some beautiful
Well, you
pieces.
would as well, wouldn't you? Because it's ruby. And you were saying about people that make their jewellery, people know ruby. And if you're anything like me, when I first entered into the jewellery world, it was, I'll never own ruby. I'll never be able to afford ruby.
No.
Seriously. Absolutely unbelievable jewellery makers. Make sure you're checking out your baskets. Hello to you, Somerset, Nicolette, Karen, Linda, Pauline, Surrey, you're there as well. Congratulations. Make sure you're checking out your basket to guarantee your success. Veronica, Somerset, well done to you. I have more of your big 5 still to bring you. More of the big 5 still to bring you. They are flying out the door. Yeah, single figure quantities left of these. So wait a second, you said 20... How much for the other 3? The ones that we've just had, Ross. £36. So now we're at £56 for all of these. I mean, that is quite... That's quite the stash of gemstones, isn't it? Look at that. £56 to get all of those. They look amazing together.
Yeah.
Next up, I have the most gorgeous sapphire.
Wow.
Okay, and then after this, there's something that is absolutely amazing. They're all amazing, but we haven't seen what Lauren's holding right now in about 6 months, 9 months. Natural sapphire. What did we just do on the ruby? You did take it to £20, yes. Natural sapphire with that beautiful regal blue. Should we match the price? $19.99. Oh, we're not stopping there. Seriously. I mean, right now, I know I'm adding this up in my head, but what, for £76 and 99 pence, I can get all of the faceted coin strands. Is that what you said? With the sapphire now, £76. But I know I might get change in a second. Because you're going even lower. Going even lower. I'm just going to keep them all just casually. Just, you know. Look at that, Linda. Look at that. I love faceted coins. It's lovely to see them back on our screens. Look at those.
Yeah.
$12.90. Oh, I can't show.
Don't lose your voice.
$12.99 for natural sapphire. 30 carats of natural sapphire at $12.99. Goodness me. So hang on. $56.99 plus $12.99. 69. Is it 6? Under £70 I can get all of those. That's a lot of jewellery. And as we said earlier on with the amethyst, people know sapphire, don't they?
New year, new hobby. You're getting your stash here, aren't you?
High-end stash.
I know. This is very sellable.
Isn't it?
Yeah, people recognise all those.
All of those gemstones. Do you sell your jewellery, Linda?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I do shows. There's one big one I do in the summer in June, which is a month, and I collaborate with other artists like sculptors and painters. And it's like an open studio. You know,
wonderful.
Yeah. And that's really good for me.
So do you try and work with it like the big five, the big gemstones?
Do you know what? I'm more a jeweller that is about the design.
Yeah.
But of course I love gemstones because that's what sells the piece.
Of course, yeah.
But I go by the look of the piece. So if I love it, I want it in the piece. So it's the aesthetics more.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Well done, everybody. Now I'm just going to pop those to one side for a second. Because what I'm about to bring you, we haven't seen in 9 months. And I'm just going to take a moment because I don't want you to think, no gemstone is just that gemstone. I beg your pardon. We're actually closing in on it being a year. But last year, come on voice, hold out. Last year, we launched a very exciting deposit of a gemstone that, I'll be really honest, we dismissed at first. So our team, as you can imagine, we've got, you know, countless buying team that scour the globe. We also have the likes of Jake, we have the likes of Ross, and we have the likes of Dave, Wayne. You know, we've got some of the, genuinely, I mean it, we've got some of the world's best gemstone buyers. Now, Dave was actually approached about a year ago and invited to a launch of a new deposit of peridot. And Dave launched it on your screens and he actually said, yeah, we've got enough peridot. And he wasn't wrong, we have got peridot. We've never been short of peridot. However, what their response was, you've not seen peridot like this before. There's a reason why it has a AAA grade, whereas the deposits that we've brought to air previously hadn't. Did you know that the Hunan and the Changbai peridot that you'd seen previously were not the primary deposit? And what that basically means, think how peridot forms. Peridot forms in the mantle of the earth, so not in the crust, under those intense heats and pressures. And it's forced up, along with diamonds, forced up through what we call kimberlite pipes, through the actual crust. So it travels an insane 55 miles to the surface. How cool is that? And it's totally and utterly natural. It blows my mind, that does. But, you know, the ones that we've seen previously are amazing, don't get me wrong, but not the primary deposit. They're secondary deposits, so they won't have the strongest of colours. What you see in the Jilin that was launched last year was the primary deposit. It is the most textbook peridot colour that you could wish for. And when we bought into this, because obviously the team took a trip over to China, they saw the launch. They weren't alone, by the way, because the Financial Times accompanied them, along with, there we go, the Financial Times accompanied them. They wrote about this deposit because, I mean, look at the lushness of the location itself. I always think gemstones can get the colour from their surroundings itself. So the Financial Times actually say, Fuli's peridot at Gem Discovery captures designers' imagination. Company targets consumers in the UK and China with light-coloured stones available in large sizes. And I don't think they've quite really captured just how good it is by that headline. Do you agree? It's not really. It's a little bit underwhelming. However, it's worth reading because obviously they were there. So what they do say, I won't read it all, but what they do say, rarely does one see such large peridots on the market of that hue, tone and saturation. When we are grading all coloured gemstones, emeralds, sapphires, rubies, tanzanite, whatever it is, we grade them on, no particular order, saturation, tone and hue. This is Joanna Hardy. Joanna Hardy is probably a familiar face to you all. She is from the Antiques Roadshow. Oh, yeah. She was also there. She's actually spoken about this as well. The incredible gemstones were launched in 2022 Goldsmiths Fair and presented in a talk by Antiques Roadshow jewellery expert Joanna Hardy, exploring the history of this precious stone. Of course, peridot is steeped in history. You know, whilst we say quite often that Cleopatra was obsessed with emeralds, it was most likely peridot she was obsessed with. So other articles, again, this was more recent. In 2023, Fooley's Gemstone unveils a new peridot cut. They actually designed a whole new cut around the Fooley green. Katerina Perez, one of the biggest names in the jewellery industry, has also written about Fooley's peridot. They say vibrant treasures, Fooley gemstone peridots are mouth-wateringly precious. And this is where they mine it. I mean, how incredibly beautiful. Can you imagine, though, just consider while looking at this image, that your peridot comes from not quite the hottest part of our earth, but within the mantle, and it's forced under those immense pressures through kimberlite pipes up to the surface, and you see beautiful locations like this. The prices that it fetches: at Anushka, £19,000. A halo of malachite and rubellite. £19,000 for that ring. Do you want some matching earrings? £19,900. I mean, they're stunning.
Very deco.
We have not spoken about Gilles Peridot in about a year. I have 44 available. This is primary deposit, AAA grade, and we're going to do something absolutely ridiculous. Also, just so you know, and we said it then, we can't replace it. It's too expensive for us to buy now. We bought in initially and we were very quickly outbid. So what that means is, look, I'm not saying JewelleryMaker can afford to go and buy a parcel of it. They can. But if we want to bring it to air, then that means we have to make some form of profit. We're a business, of course. So, and I doubt you're going to want to be paying close to £20,000. Straight away, big collectors getting involved. Straight away. The web price, with everything that we've just told you, and it is a full strand, it's not, you know, that's not out of the realms of reality, is it? £499. It's not where we're stopping, don't you worry. Nowhere near. But it's not out of the realms of possibility when we look at places like Anushka, when you've got the likes of Joanna Hardy, Katerina Perez, all those big names in the industry, really passionate and excited about Gilles Peridot, the quality that is that perfect depiction of chartreuse green, which is, you know, that's like quad A to a tanzanite. It's the best colour saturation. See how grassy it is. You know, in the summertime when you cut your grass and you reveal, you know, the fresh shoots. The fresh shoots. That's the perfect colour of peridot.
Do you know where my mind went? The lime in the gin and tonic.
Yes. Oh, you're my kind of girl there, Linda. Absolutely. It is. It's that perfect zestiness. And it still to this day blows my mind that that comes from the earth. Amazing. Almost the heart of the earth. 55 miles beneath the surface. How many do we have, Ross? 44 of these available. We're under £100. A full strand of AAA grade. We're going to half it. And then I'm going to say, jewellery makers, we are still not done. Still not. Look at that colour from there. It's good. For me, peridot is that gemstone that will command attention. It needs to be with the black spinel. It absolutely needs to be with the black spinel.
That's gorgeous.
Oh. With the amethyst as well, says Roscoe. And
what about the ruby? Put them all together.
Let's just do it. Why are we holding back here? Why are we holding back? In 30 seconds, We're going to take it to the most ridiculous price point. AAA grade, hasn't been seen for or best part of a year, jewellery makers. February last year it was launched. Yeah, let's put them all together. Why not? We've had, in the whole business, does that include Emporia as well? Yeah, barely any. No sense whatsoever in what we're about to do, but we're doing it anyway. Nobody is paying $4.99. I know I'm not feeling the best. Does that say 20 quid?
I think it does.
That's what's on.
Unbelievable.
That's 1% of Anushka's, yeah. I mean, I know Anushka's in 18 karat gold. Just, you know, still 1%. And I haven't got 20 grand. I can manage 20 quid. I can manage 20 quid. Seriously. Oh my goodness me. Just the most beautiful saturation. There's people multi-buying. Well done, everybody. It's been best part of a year since we've even spoken Gilles in Peridot. When we launched it with Dave, it was with us, wasn't it? Yeah, nothing was under £20. And he brought individual stones too. Nothing under £20. We could see a 1.2 carat Gilles in Peridot. Excuse me, in a cushion cut, £35. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's a really good price. It's not 20 quid though. And you've got a full strand, which is more workable for us, Linda. Would you agree?
Definitely. You can see how you could use them and then look like they are set, even though they're beads. You know, so you can really make ranges of jewellery out of all those strands.
What colour would you put with Gilles in Peridot? Because I always say gold. I'm always a gold person, you see, so...
Yeah, it warms it up, doesn't it? It makes it more zingy, but it still goes well with silver.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I like it with pearls.
Oh, me.
Because it also keeps that zing, doesn't it?
I just think there's a personality to Peridot, especially Gilles in Peridot.
I've made lots of, you know, the Tree of Life, people who make Tree of Life pieces.
Yeah.
This could be a fantastic, you know, just to have a strand of that with those beads.
Absolutely beautiful. Should we do a little tally just for kicks, everything on the back of my hand? Should we? I reckon it's still under £100, you know, Roscoe. Or thereabouts. Anne's got 2, Durham's got 5, Cambridgeshire, Hayley, Northumberland, Surrey, you've just got 3. I thought it was £89 for everything on the back of my hand right now. That is quite the stash of gemstones. Amazing. Okay, Ross has just said, Elle, I have just found on the back of that auction some absolute last of stock Gilles in Peridot. And as we've spoken about it, it makes sense to bring it to air. So I haven't physically got it here in the studio, but we have got a recording or a photograph. We're going to start with 4mm. Are they faceted rounds? Smooth rounds. Oh, okay. I'm looking at the wrong photo. 4mm smooth rounds. I love 4mm rounds. Again, you could use them with your technique though, couldn't you, Linda?
Any bead can be used with this technique. Any bead.
Look at this for colour. And bear in mind, this is literally a web picture. And it looks that amazing.
Wow.
Look at the quality of the colour. From a web picture. It's never been on air. Ross. I messed up a bit there, haven't we? I don't think we're meant to be praying it, because especially by a photograph. Tell you what then. Oh, there's only 18. Let's do it then. There's only 18. Right, we'll have to be... Right. It's got to be on and gone, though, jewellery makers, okay? $19.99, on and gone. Get your certificate with this. I personally would, anyway. Because there's been a huge... It was literally launched on our screens round about a year ago. Discovered in, what was it, 2022? So... There's only 18, so it's going to be a clock to close, jewellery makers. Yeah, we're talking about last 2 or 3 years since this has actually been discovered. Widely documented as one of the most exceptional quality of peridot, arguably in the world, because it was always peridot. It was always cashmere that dominated in terms of value. And perceived quality. I have to say, Jilin, I don't want to say knocked it off its top spot, but certainly it's up there. And don't make no doubt about it, peridot can be very, very expensive, especially when it demonstrates that wonderful, rich chartreuse green. We had 18 available. Don't have that quantity now. Hello, Joanne. I have Jilin peridot. It's absolutely gorgeous. You won't be disappointed. It's lush. I like that word.
Yeah, lush.
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 It's a perfect word to describe it as well, isn't it? Lush. Well done. Keep checking out. Now, if you've got the 4 mils, but maybe you want the 3 mils too. Oh, we're going to do it. We're going to do it anyway. We've got the same quantity. 18, literally, on the nose. We'll go straight down to it and you've got a minute. Hang on. Oh, it's just dawned on me. Penny's just dropped. You went under £20 on the 4 mil. I mean, we're spontaneous, Ross. We're being spontaneously saying we shouldn't really be playing either of these strands. That's true. Adam says just because it's spontaneous doesn't mean it's not naughty. True. I've been spontaneous. I know, but we'll do it anyway. Do it anyway. It's spontaneous. £16.99. There is only 18 available in the vault. You've got to think, Ross. You've got to think. They've been in the vault for a year. So 18's not a viable quantity for us. If anything, it's our duty. Go on, you can have them, jewellery makers. We're not going to be able to buy any more. It's not like, you know, that 18 is going to multiply and grow in our vault, is it? We're always going to only have 18 because we're outpriced of it. Should we do some cubes? I need to have a sip of my coffee because I got a second. Might clear the decks. Okay. Oh, it worked. Okay, cubes. Oh, they're lovely. Look how they tessellate. Now, these have been on air before, but they've never been under this price. I love cubes. I love cubes, I do. Sorry, I just did. I'm thinking about your design because they kind of jut out. You'd have these lovely kind of angles, I think.
They look modern.
Yes.
Don't they? There's something about geometric shapes that makes it look more modern, I think.
Yeah.
And they sit well together. If you also alternating cube, circle, circle.
Nice.
Really nice.
You could maybe go down like the noughts and cross. The Morse code route, couldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
They would look amazing with the malachite cubes that are coming up, jewellery makers. Amazing, yes, loving those. Oh yeah, and different tones of those greens as well. Love it, absolutely love it. Both natural. Jewellery makers, make sure you're checking out. Do we have quantities of the cubes? Less than 10, so simple answer is no.
No.
Wiltshire, Patricia, Tennessee, hello to you, Ayrshire. Oh, Ross is, can I repeat? I've just found something very exciting. But there's 15, okay. What is Ah, I was hoping you were going to say faceted rounds. I was hoping you'd say faceted rounds, Roscoe. They're the only Gilles Peridot faceted rounds that we have in the whole company. And today we're going to do it. We're going to take it to a brand new low. I mean, you've got literally a minute at $19.99. They should not be anywhere near that price tag. Again, we've been completely honest and said we can't buy any more Gilles Peridot. It's too expensive. You've got the likes of Anushka. You've got the likes of Katerina Perez backing it. You've got the Financial Times talking about it. The world is talking about this deposit. What happens when people start sort of getting excited about a new discovery? Price goes up. But this has absolutely skyrocketed. It now, I don't know this for sure, but it's a good assumption. Gilles Peridot might be one of the most expensive locations in the world now for that gemstone. It's sold out. Well done. Now I've got one more auction to bring you. Oh, the bicones. I love a bicone. Less than 20 available though, extremely limited. The Wall of Fame and the Dealer Days coming up. I promise, that amazing parcel. You're going to do it again, aren't you? I knew it. Never ever has this been under £20, jewellery makers. Never. Nor should it. It's irreplaceable. You have just seen every strand of Gilles Peridot that Jewellery Maker has in the company. Never ever has this been under £20, Jewellery Makers. How many do we have the bicones? 19. Okay, well they're not going to hang around then, are they? And a bicone should definitely be more expensive because of the cut. You know, can I be really honest? I'd totally forgotten about the Gilles Peridot. I totally forgot about that deposit. That was how fleeting it was. But it was about a year ago. I can barely remember what I did last week, let alone a year ago. But then as soon as you saw it, you're like, yes, I remember why. I remember why there was such hype. We have no more. We can't replace it. And if we did replace it, it's not going to be at $19.99. Highly doubt that. Well done, everybody. For your bicones, got to move on. Shouldn't be under £20. Now, just before we dive into the Wall of Fame. Oh, look at that. Is that what I think? Oh, I don't have the sample, but oh my goodness. To get you warmed up for your malachite and also to put the cherry on the Gilles cake. There's 50 of these. It's brand new. Oh my goodness. It's like literally it was created for this show. You are looking at natural Gilles Peridot teamed with natural malachite. There were 50 in the world ever commissioned. Look at the fire within this Gilles. See it? You know when you see like a rainbow spectrum. That is fire. That's scintillation. We've never seen this before. And by the way, they are hematite spacers as well, so don't get rid of those. Can I just say, just restrand that? How lovely would that be? Just restranded?
Yeah.
There's 50 of these available.
One off for a pendant, 2 for earrings, and then restrand the rest.
Oh. Are you ready? What a luxurious piece of jewellery this is. No, hang on. Sorry, Ross. You've got Anushka, who works with Gilles Peridot and malachite. You are working with Gilles Peridot and malachite. Of all the stones that they could have chosen to work with Gilles, that's a one of a kind, by the way, that ring. We're about to do the same. This auction is live. 50 in the world. 87.5 carats of malachite and Gilles Peridot. 3, 2, 1. I've never seen this strand before. It's been under lock and key. Yes, straight away there's a reaction. I wish we had a sample too, but you know what? You can see how amazing it is. Technically, by Adam's recording that's under magnification, is that right, Ad? You could, you know, if there was anything, if there are any flaws or faults or blemishes, you'll see it on that recording most. Do you know what's incredible about this strand, says Ross? It's all natural. That malachite, do you know, this is exciting because you've got almost yin and yang. Let me explain. You've got malachite, which is one of the shallowest forming gemstones, literally one of the shallowest, alongside your turquoises, you know, literally, it's just, yeah, just under the Earth's crust. There's a diagram for that somewhere, Roscoe, isn't there? You've got one of the shallowest forming gemstones, and then one of the deepest. Look how perfectly they work together. It's probably in peridot. Or it might be malachite, actually, I'm not sure. We've got 50 of these available, or rather we had. There's collectors getting involved all day long. Yeah, that's not unreasonable at all. 87.5 carats of malachite, of AAA grade Jilin peridot. £199, yeah, more than reasonable. I don't physically have it in the studio. That would be straight up at the neckline. Restrand on the neckline. Should we get it under £100, jewellery makers? There it is. Under £100. Take a look at this. It's cool. You've got, can you see? There's the magma at the bottom. And there's your diamonds and your peridot. That's where they hang out. That's where they hang out. I always say they're like best buddies, diamonds and peridot. They kind of, they like to hold each other's hands through those kimberlite pipes up to the surface. And you've got your, you've got your sapphires and your rubies. You've got your, some more sapphires, spinel, tanzanites. Then you've got your opal and malachite right at the top. Right at the top. See what I mean? It's like that yin and yang of your gemstone world. But don't they work beautifully together? Yeah. We're under £100. There's 50 of these in the world, that's it. Well, there's two gemstones, by the way, that have been shouted about over the past year or so, haven't they? Both malachite and Jilin. How about, for such a luxurious strand, we get this to £50. For the Jilin peridot, £50 is amazing. For the malachite, separately, do you agree? Malachite's not inexpensive. Today, I think in preparation for your Deal of the Day showcase and the cherry on the proverbial cake of Jilin peridot showcase, it's a stunning strand. I only wish I had it in the studio to hold it up to the neckline. Let's go lower today. There's 50 of these. Make sure you're checking out your baskets. Oh, I'm tempted to buy this one. It's my #1 favourite gemstone, malachite, and I love that combination, that contrast between the greens. I'm a green person. Green's my favourite colour.
Well, it brings out the lighter green in the malachite, all the lines, doesn't it? Yeah.
It certainly does. It shows those wonderful variations of the colours. We are not stopping jewellery makers at £49.99. I've got 50. It's not many. Never been on your screens. A brand new premiere. Any other day of the week. That's an awesome deal. But because we've kind of stumbled across the Jilin peridot showcase here, and it's absolutely taken off, we're going to do this once. I think it's going to sell out at this price, and you've got a minute. £24.99, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous for either of those stones. If you're buying the malachite, £24.99, that's awesome. If you're buying the Jilin peridot, that's incredible. You're basically £12.50 per stone, per gemstone. From this, excuse me, jewellery makers, from this we're going to go straight into the Wall of Fame. We've just reached the over-allocated price point, but you need to be checking them out because there's still people... Look, if they're in your basket, they're not guaranteed to you. They need to be checked out. Someone can come in at the tail end of this auction and make that confirmation and they'll yoink out your basket, basically. First come, first serve. So I can't say any fairer than that. Only available at this price. I think it's going to sell out today anyway. Well done to each and every single one of you. Your Wall of Fame is coming up immediately after the break, as is your malachite showcase. We've got brand new premier strands, beautiful cuts, some of your most popular. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you after this. Just having a little dance. Just a little dance to the Wall of Fame. Little boogie, little shoulder shrug. Right then, hang on a minute. I have to say, I have a complaint. Have a complaint. This is far too light. Ah, yeah, it's Thursday. Still, please can you send some photographs in, everybody? We love this part of the show and I love seeing all your pieces of jewellery. And right now I've got, hang on, two. I've got two. Two, Bex. I need more, please. Please. You watch now, you'll bombard Carol tomorrow. She's going to have a stack like this. And I'll be very jealous. Please send your entries in, lovely jewellery makers. I know it's a bit cliche, but you have got to be in it to win it. And it doesn't matter if you're brand new to jewellery making, whether you're brand new or whether you're fully established, we still love seeing them and you still get entered into the Wall of Fame. It's not done by merit, it's done by good old-fashioned tombola. It's our favourite part of the show. So please, please, please send your wonderful creations into the Wall of Fame so we can say hi, show them off and have a little chat. That's it. That's just general chit-chat. Anyway, right, gripe over. I'll move on. We'll draw a line under that one. It was a blip, wasn't it? It was a blip. Right then, let's start us off this morning with... Who's starting us? Well, there's only two and I can't get this right. Is Lely Norton. Hello to you, Lely. Well, this is absolutely beautiful. A vision of colour. You are number 647, Lely, and you say, hi, here's this week's entry to the WUF. I call it the Rough Rainbow. Ah, a rough, that's me today, hopefully. I'm a rough rainbow. Maybe not the rainbow, but I'm definitely rough today. Definitely the rough bit I am today. I call it the Rough Rainbow. It's ruby, fire opal, citrine, emerald, apatite, sapphire, amethyst, and a diamond. Just for fun, she says in brackets. Wow. All in their rough form on a sterling silver bracelet. All gemstones are from JewelleryMaker. It took a few years to get all the stones in the rough, but was worth the wait. Oh, I tell you what. I love that. Committed. And it's so beautiful, Lely. As if you're casually there, yeah, and some diamonds, you know. Ruby, citrine, emerald, apatite, fire opal, sapphire, amethyst, and just a casual diamond. Wonderful. Well, good luck to you, Lely. That's number 647. And I think because it's taken you so long to be able to, you know, gather the gemstone like a genuine gemstone hunter-gatherer, I think that's got to put you... Hunter-gatherer. Don't make me laugh, because if I laugh, I cough. No, I think that's going to put you in good stead, Lely. So fingers crossed for you. 647. Next up. Oh, wow. That's amazing. Do I sound like Bonnie Tyler? I do a bit. I need a hero. Bit of Bonnie Tyler. Number 648 is from Linda Walker. Hello, Linda. What a vision of colour. Linda says, hi all at Jewellery Maker. Here is my entry to this week's Wall of Fame. First piece I've made this year. It's a golden agate pendant on amber and seed pearl necklace. Thanks for keeping us all sane through the grey winter months with all the banter, bargains and laughs. Well, we certainly do, don't we? We have lots of banter, lots of bargains and loads of laughs. Loads and loads of laughs. That is joyful, Linda, isn't it? And do you know what you say about us keeping you sane and happy through the winter months? I mean, that's a vision for winter, isn't it? It's like a sunrise. It's very... Oh, Adam says he would call it the sunrise necklace. I like that, Adam. Sunrise or sunset, whichever way you want to look at it. Whichever. It's beautiful. Linda, more please. If you're saying that's your first one, we need to see more of your fabulous makes. Like I said, 2 just won't do. Just won't do. So shall I tell you how you get involved? So if you've never got involved before, it's super simple. Drop us an email to studio@jewellerymaker.com. That's studio@jewellerymaker.com. If you do that by Tuesday at 12 o'clock, you'll be entered into the Wednesday's draw. Way! And like I said earlier on, it's not done on merit, it's done on a good old-fashioned tombola. Yes, it does need the action. Plucked out completely by random, 2 actions there. So, like I said, it's not like, oh, this is the best design or the most skillful design. We want to see them all because they're all absolutely fantastic. So drop us an email, and you never know, on Wednesday, you might be plucked out as our winner. The winner will receive £100 credited to their Jewellery Maker account. £100. Way! I can't shout too loud. I mean, that's not bad, is it? £100. We do that every single week. And the runner-up will receive £50 credited to their Jewellery Maker account. So you've got to be in it to win it. I know it's all cliche, but you never know. That might be some little January credit that you can indulge and treat yourself with some more Jewellery Maker goodies. Maybe, just perhaps, some malachite. Yes, because you know, Jewellery Makers, it's my absolute favourite gemstone. Your deal, there was no way I was missing this deal of the day. Absolutely no way on earth. Even if I cannot talk, I was going to bring you malachite today. And some of the finest, most beautiful cuts, some of our most popular cuts. Malachite, in its natural beauty, certainly one of the world's most popular gemstones of the moment. And we've got shapes that I don't think I've actually seen, actually. I'm not sure I've seen rectangles for a very long time. We've got cubes. Oh, I like the cubes. Oh, they're nice, aren't they? We've got some rectangles. You saw the clovers a few moments ago. We've got through drill drops as well. Oh, I love those. So as opposed to having the drill hole sideways, horizontally, it's top to bottom. So all you need to do is pop a head pin through. Pop a head pin through and then a loop at the top, attach it to whatever you wish and job done. We've got one of your absolute favourites. We can't do a showcase of malachite without bringing you malachite rounds, can we, Jewellery Makers? So we have a couple of different round variety opportunities for you, but look at the quality of them, Jewellery Makers. Beautifully lustrous and glossy. You've got all those wonderful bands of variegated greens, which is what you look for in top quality malachite. Yeah, it is, like I said, I think, much like we always say about pearls, actually, our malachite buying is absolutely exceptional. This will absolutely fly, Jewellery Makers. We've got a graduated clover strand. Super excited about this strand. I know Ross certainly is. You know, it's going to be an on and gone, in my opinion. It's become one of our most popular cuts, most certainly. You know, you could channel your in Alhambra, which obviously malachite is one of those gemstones that they use in there, in the Alhambra design. Only you'll be making a better version because it'll be one of a kind. Not that long ago, actually, we had lengths of chain, didn't we? So just put little sections of your chain in between and away you go. Jewellery Makers, it's a showcase not to miss. It's been a wonderful show so far. We've got so much more to bring you, of course, with our brand new guest, Don't go anywhere because Malachite is up after this.
Do you have a stunning piece of jewellery you've crafted? Share your masterpiece with us and you might just see your design featured on the Wall of Fame. Every week, the most dazzling entry will win £100 credit to their account, with £50 credit going to the runner-up. To enter, simply send your entries to studio@jewellerymaker.com by Tuesday at 12 p.m. in time for the Wednesday draw. Snap a pic, send it in, and let your brilliance light up our Wall of Fame. And who knows, your creation could be the next to sparkle and win.
As I just said, there was absolutely no way on earth I was missing this deal of the day. Yeah, like if I was on my deathbed, I would still be here to talk about the beauty of malachite. I adore this gemstone. I've never made a secret of it. And I just popped out, literally, get a tissue, blow the hooter, those kind of things. And I did notice that somewhere very close to us is also doing malachite today. And it just jogged my memory somewhat because just on the back of the pandemic, I was very fortunate enough, and I'll always be very, very grateful for the opportunities that I've had over my years here at JewelleryMaker. I was very blessed and fortunate to be invited to Tucson. Now, Tucson, for those of you that don't know, is the biggest gem fair in the world. And do you know when you underestimate something? In my head, I knew it was a gem fair, but I kind of imagined it was maybe like, I don't know, the NEC. Yeah? How wrong was I? Have you been, Linda?
No, it's been on my bucket list.
Oh, I was so wrong. Because it's literally where gemstone enthusiasts like you and I, it takes over an entire city. It's not just one location. If I use Birmingham as an example, it's like you have the NEC, then you have name another arena in, and then you have the NIA, then you have the Aston Villa Stadium, then you have the Birmingham City Stadium, then you have what? West Bromwich Albion. They can tell the boys are feeding me these now, can't you? But every stadium in that vicinity taken over, and every vacant car park has got literally marquees. I remember standing at the end of one marquee, and how big this car park was, I do not know, and I could not see the end of the marquee. It was that vast, honestly.
Wow.
Yeah, I lost count of the amount of steps I did in that week. It's utterly exhausting, by the way. So don't ever think that when teams go to things like Tucson, it's a jolly. It's not a jolly. It's hard graft, but fun, obviously. And the reason why I bring that up is because just on the back of the pandemic, I already feel that JewelleryMaker, us as a family, we were well and truly on board with the malachite, weren't we? You know, we were ahead of, I'm not going to say Van Cleef, because Van Cleef have always used it, but lots of many of the biggest designers hadn't yet really started including it in their jewellery designs to the level that they are now. Anyway, so it was myself and it was Angeline and it was Jake and Dave and a few other members of the team anyway. And it became a little bit of a running joke. They were like, you know, because I used to kind of like just go off, you know, as you do. I was like that child that really they needed to keep on a rein. Because they'd be like, where's Elle? Where's Elle gone? Oh, gosh, we've lost her again. Just track down the malachite and you'll find out. And it did genuinely become a little bit of a running joke. And I remember speaking to our Gemporia colleagues, and they were like, what is it about malachite that you absolutely adore? I said, well, just look at it. Visually, it's just absolutely stunning. And I said then, I think this is going to be the next big gemstone. And honestly, they scoffed at me. They did. They were like, no. And what is it? It's one of the biggest gemstones in the world right now. So, the entire hour deal of the day is on pre-order right now. And a year or two ago, when we were bringing you our malachite, we were bringing you big quantities, weren't we? We were able to get hold of it then. Now, 50 of each. And that's not because we deliberately buy less, quite the polar opposite. It's because we can't get that quantity. The other thing I really need to point out, even on the back of the pandemic, what is that, 2-3 years ago now? There was not a single strand. In the whole of Tucson, I did not see a single strand, genuinely, of malachite. So loads of freeforms, loads of bowls, a few carvings, cabochons, couldn't find any strands. And I remember speaking to one malachite vendor and saying, you know, obviously we're jewellery maker, we want strands. And they were like, oh yeah, well, good luck with that. I said, well, why is that so difficult to actually find? And they said, because you've got some of the biggest designers, obviously, and they will literally slice it. So they'll slice it down. So they're using far less. The reason why they say good luck is because you're looking for massive quantities of them to make strands. So it was impossible then, and it's as challenging now, probably even more so because of the big names attached to malachite. Now, as you know, I love a PowerPoint, and still to this day, my malachite PowerPoint has never changed because I can't find anything better than the words that are written in this article. So I love reading it to you, jewellery makers. I think it's positively poetic, and I think it perfectly describes malachite. So let's read that together, lovely jewellery makers. So they describe it, simple headline, malachite, eternal paradise in shades of green. And I know, Linda, this is one of your favourite gemstones as well, so I'm sure you'll enjoy this too. And these are the words of the jewellery editor, and they describe this beautiful gemstone so perfectly. And it is those wonderful shades of greens, those variegated bands, as it goes on to say. Malachite is highly distinctive with its variegated banding and rich emerald green colours. That colour comes from copper deposits where the malachite is often found. In fact, malachite itself is used as a source of copper via process of smelting. I need to say we don't do that anymore. It's too valuable as a gemstone. They don't use it for its copper content anymore. Often malachite is found alongside azurite, a brilliant blue gemstone which also forms in copper-rich areas. Concentrically banded malachite, known as peacock's eye, is especially sought after. Now, peacock's eye, another term is bullseye, which is probably more familiar to you all. Especially sought after as it is rarer than the linearly banded gemstone. Malachite is rather soft. On the Mohs scale, it's 3.5 to 4. It is found all over the world, including the US, Brazil, Australia, Mexico, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. But as we mentioned earlier on, it's a very shallow forming gemstone. So much like your turquoise, it is a pointless exercise digging deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper once you discover malachite, because actually it'll become less and less and less and less and less. So they go on to say, adorned with an allure of mystery, malachite is a hypnotizing stone. Like a mesmerizing beauty, it puts you under its spell the moment you lay eyes on it. In the world of stones, malachite is the outlandish eccentric, the stone you see once but will remember. So significant is its appearance. Possibly the earliest ore of copper, having been mined in the Sinai and eastern deserts of ancient Egypt in as early as 3000 BC. Malachite is a green copper carbonate hydroxide. It was used as an eye paint, or makeup really, a pigment for wall paintings and in glazes, and the colouring of glass. Like I said, we don't do that anymore. We appreciate it for the gemstone and its rarity. But a huge history, as we said, dating right the way back to 3000 BC. The name malachite is believed to come from the Greek word malachitis, and that is referring the mallow leaf, which is similar in colour. Malachite has been used by humans since antiquity and was believed to protect one from evil. In ancient Egypt, the colour green was highly symbolic, representing new life and fertility. Ancient Egyptians referred to the eternal paradise they believed awaited for them in the afterlife as fields of malachite. They would rarely use malachite as a gemstone in jewellery, but would grind it up to make paint pigment for eyeshadow back then. Yes, we wouldn't dream of doing that now, of course. So here is a malachite funerary mask of the Red Queen displayed in a museum exhibition in Mexico City. You can see they're quite primitively, obviously, cut. But you can see that wonderful green, and you can see those variegating bands once again. We can talk about the metaphysical side of this gemstone as well. Malachite symbolises transformation, abundance and spiritual wisdom. Some people believe that wearing malachite jewellery can alleviate depression and help aid in the restoration of balance and positivity. Whatever your beliefs are, malachite is undoubtedly a beautiful stone to add to your collection. It's not often, by the way, I mean, obviously we're all very much gemstone and jewellery enthusiasts, but when I speak to someone like my husband, who is not really, it's not his bag, he's far more into engines and things like that. However, if I show him malachite, in fact he did, and it was one of his Christmas presents from me this year, I showed him a strand of malachite and he was like, wow, that's really cool. It was it had a reaction straight away. So it's like, right, okay, I'm going to get him one. And it's literally a stretchy bracelet of this gemstone. But we talk of this gem and we should expect it to be, of course, be in your high-end sort of sector of the jewellery world. Take a look at the beautiful Kate Moss here wearing her malachite jewellery. Yeah, upside down. But look at that beautiful green and how intoxicating those wonderful colours, the shades of those wonderful colours are. You can see it in the ring, on the bracelet, in the earrings, and even up to the ear clip. Can you see that just at the top of the ear there as well? You have Zendaya there wearing hers, teamed alongside another shallow forming gemstone there with your turquoise. Zendaya, not Zendaya, sorry. You can tell I'm congested. Zendaya wearing hers looks absolutely amazing. Also, a firm favourite of course, Her Royal Highness Queen Camilla, who you can see here wearing it in her Van Cleef & Arpels, which she wears quite frequently, actually. So it's one of her favourite jewellery collection pieces to actually wear. And you can see those gorgeous bands of colours. So Van Cleef & Arpels, absolutely, this has been one of their most successful lines that they have actually launched. You can see that Alhambra necklace. This is a 16 motif malachite long line necklace. It'll set you back round about £23,000, by the way, if you want to wear that. It's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. And it's one of those timeless classics, no doubt, but it's also the price of a car. A very nice car at that. Beautiful. And it's this gemstone that we're about to bring you, jewellery makers. Now, I don't know about you. I don't have £23,000, but I might be able to stretch to jewellery maker prices. Now, each item is on pre-order. Other than the first piece that I'm about to bring you, which we mention in that write-up, there is a quantity of 10. This is what they refer to in the jewellery editor as peacock's eye, or bullseye, whichever way you want to word it. Now, if you imagine just for a second how malachite forms. Malachite forms in stalactites and stalagmites. Stalactites, stalagmites, that's how I always remembered it when I was in school. If you imagine the heart of that gemstone forming that copper-rich solution, dripping, 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 or rising, whichever way, in those usually underground caves, the beginning of those stalactites and stalagmites will be the heart or the peacock's eye. Imagine and visualize the rings of a tree as it forms, as it begins to grow. That is the peacock's eye or the bull's eye. Now, it is the rarest part of the malachite to form. The first one that I am going to bring to you today, jewellery makers, is all peacock's eye or bull's eye, whichever one. Every single bead, you will see the eye, the heart of the gemstone, the rarest of all malachites. But I have just 10. Seriously, I know I'm biased here, but is there a gemstone more beautiful than malachite?
I love the cut, actually. I like the oval.
Stunning, isn't it?
That's stunning.
And then you know that each one has that bullseye, the heartbeat of this gemstone. There are 10 in the world, that's it. That's how rare this is. And you might think I'm sort of overstating this. This is worthy of 18 karat gold, 100%.
Yeah.
And it is worthy of the dizzy height price points that we see elsewhere. It's not just Van Cleef and Arpels. It's Rolex. It's Chopard. It's Piaget. I don't even think Gucci do. I don't think Gucci do yet.
It's about time.
I think they'd like to. Dolce, here's an example. Dolce & Gabbana, imitate it. Dolce & Gabbana use imitation malachite. You're sourcing the finest example. They create acrylic that looks like malachite. Dolce & Gabbana, not even the real deal. You're getting the real deal, and every single one, there it is that beautiful bullseye. There are 10 in the world, jewellery makers. 10 in the world. Now I've got 9. We can work our way. Look at the quality of these. Every single one. Every single one. Bullseye. Bullseye. Or peacock's eye, whichever way. Peacock's eye. You can see that unbelievable quality. I've got 8 left. That is the rarity of the peacock's eye malachite. Look at the quality of these. They're absolutely unbelievable. It is bewitching. Once seen, never forgotten. That outlandish, eccentric, I'll never forget those words. Because for me, it perfectly describes this beautiful gemstone. Every single one has that quality. Even here, Ross, it might seem pie in the sky. For bullseye malachite, £1,000 isn't that bad. It's not 23 grand, is it? And it's a full length strand. Yours is a bigger carat weight than the Van Cleef and Arpels. Considerably bigger carat weight than the Van Cleef and Arpels piece. Are you ready? Piaget. About 4mm in their size. I used to sell Piaget jewellery. That's not, they're not big pieces. £2,000 for that, by the way. So, yeah, it's on 18 karat gold, I get that. And there's a little tiny diamond. The gold isn't that expensive. I had 10 available. Today, you can get hold of this Jewellery Makers for £299 for the finest example. That's like sourcing a eternally flawless diamond in the malachite world. It's the best grade that you could possibly wish for, and you can see it. It doesn't take me describing it. This is to launch our wonderful malachite selection, Jewellery Makers. Really? Excuse me, we're not even stopping here. 30 seconds, there's 10 of these available in the world. In my head, Linda, I'm just thinking, put that on silk with an 18 karat gold clasp.
Yeah, you don't need to do anything to it, do you? Just
no.
Yeah. Beautiful. It's an heirloom.
No, it is an heirloom. Yeah, I'm glad you say that. And you've got fond memories of malachite, you were saying.
Well, I lived in, it was then the Belgian Congo. So my mum and dad used to travel quite a lot. So I was born in Mombasa in East Africa, and then we moved to the Congo. So that's where
So you're familiar with this gemstone?
Yeah, that's why I
from a
know
young age?
that it means something to me from my childhood.
Wow. Wow, and you said your mum used to wear malachite all the time.
Yeah, well, she had a beautiful, you said the bullseye, she had one, it looked like a lagoon. You know when they sort of, it was sort of rupturing out, but lots of little, it was beautiful.
And that's, and that's what I love about gemstones and jewellery. They build such memories to you as well, don't they?
Yeah.
What? You're in double figures for bullseye malachite. Absolutely unbelievable, jewellery makers. Look at the quality. Look at this one here. Look at that. Look how intense. Look how dramatic those beautiful variegating bands are. And it's all totally natural. Please be mindful, I should mention as well, as we venture into this showcase, there is a lot of synthetic malachite around at the moment. I'm noticing it. It really, really presses my buttons. It's fine doing synthetic gemstones, but as long as you advertise it as synthetic gemstones, be mindful. I've even seen like a cabochon painted, and it's not the real deal. And still, they're tagging on to the malachite hype at the moment, jewellery makers. So please trust where you are sourcing your malachite from. You know that each and every single one of our gem opportunities are literally lab tested and certified, so you know that you are getting the real deal. We'll tell you the country of origin, everything about the gemstone, the carat weight, etc., etc. I had 10 of these. Unbelievable. We're down to the last 5, so make sure you're checking it out. Well done, collectors. Cornwall, you've just taken us down to the final 4. Susan in Devon, Sheila in Devon, well done for pressing your option 1 key. You can be one of those 10 people. It's absolutely, I love the shape of that as well. And just so you know, I don't think we've got anything rice bead like shaped, I don't think. Or maybe 1 or 2. Don't know. But if you want the bullseye, then this is the one to be getting, jewellery makers. Congratulations. Everything else is on pre-order. I'm going to start with our premieres. What's been popular on pre-order? I'm not surprised. Right. Correct me if I'm wrong. We're going to start with the clovers. Okay, so through drilled clovers, the positioning of the drill hole, I think, makes a big difference for us as jewellery designers, don't you think? So if you wanted to channel your inner Alhambra, take a bit of inspiration from Van Cleef and Arpels and save yourself the 20-odd grand, we bring you lengths of chain. It would be super simple to create your version. All you would need is the various sizes of your malachite clovers, and you would need some precious metal. Well, we do that regularly. Now, this has easily become, wow, they're amazing too, one of our most popular shapes, but typically you're loving one of the most challenging shapes. I've got 50 available, jewellery makers. These are, they're absolutely jaw-dropping. With a graduation, mix these up, chains, sections of chains in between. And you've got yourself an Alhambra-inspired piece. And yours aren't slithers. They've got depth. They go up to 15 millimetre, from 9 to 15 millimetre, natural malachite. Whenever we bring you clovers in any gem, they fly out the door. Those are hematite spaces as well, so don't discard those, jewellery makers. It has easily become one of our most popular cuts. It's very difficult to cut because obviously you've got the 4 clefts, so there is a big risk in the gemstone actually shattering. We used to say hearts were the most challenging, didn't we? Because of the cleft. Well, you've got that times 4. There's 50 of these available. You will need to get a bit of a wriggle on with each of these because the world is obsessed with this beautiful gemstone. We always say the minimum price, say these were individual and not on a strand, yeah? If I was bringing you one single clover, and they're usually a lot thinner in their sort of depth, if I was to bring you, well, actually, what was it, Bucalati that did the opera collection? I launched a buccolati, which is kind of like a 4-leaf clover motif in sterling silver at JewelleryMaker some time ago. One single precious metal connector, sterling silver connector, you were talking a tenner. I mean, they do those by moulds, by the way, not to discredit that, but it is literally done by a mould. This is a genuine gemstone, carved, created by Mother Nature. But if we said, yeah, you're right, Ross, £10? £10 for 1 clover. So that means if I count the motifs, there's 10, that's £100 for this strand. And actually it should be more because they are genuine gemstones. Let's start there. I have 50 available. I'm going to half that price, which means they're £5 per clover. But we're not stopping there. Look at the quality of that green. Look at it's so hypnotizing, isn't it? So hypnotizing. That wonderful combination, that mixture. We're at £5 per malachite clover, and we are going even lower. Already collectors getting involved. So beautiful is this gemstone. It's not just taken the jewellery world by storm, it's taken the fashion world and the interior design world by storm. You're seeing wallpapers, soft furnishings with this pattern on the front. Today, jewellery makers, brand new, that's ridiculous. I totally agree with what you've just said there, Ross. One of the best priced malachite clover strands that we've ever done. Now, I don't know about you, but I would very much like that bathroom. That's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? Look at that. That's acrylic. And the inspiration behind it was malachite. Soft furnishings, look. Curtains.
Yeah.
More in the bathroom.
I love that.
There's Dolce & Gabbana's acrylic handbag, by the way. 4 figures, that is, by the way. There's another version, by the way. And they do shoes. And they do watches. That's not real malachite. Not real malachite. There's the shoes. But inspired by this beautiful, beautiful gemstone. Right now, we are looking at £3 per motif. That is the lowest price I've ever seen of malachite clovers, Ross. Unbelievable. Yeah, Lola Rose using it in their timepieces now. I've got 50 available. You need to get a wriggle on, jewellery makers. Gloria, Karen, Helena, hello to you, Linda in Shropshire, Linda in Tennessee, Lucy in Berkshire. Oh yeah, I love this. See now, this is the thing, it might not be directly, but does anyone else see malachite in Dior's packaging there? Can you see it? It's that hypnotizing, bewitching colour combination. That might be intentional, it might not. Excuse me. Oh, that was a nasty one. 60-second clock to close the auction. Okay, you've got to be checking out your baskets, everybody. Diane, Veronica, Heather, Gloria, Eileen, Karen, Helena, Mariska and Debbie and Stephanie and Christine and Sheila. Hello to you, Kent and Suffolk and Rachel. Pointless leaving it in your baskets, folks. They only had 50. They're going to disappear. That's £3 per motif. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And we've got loads of different shapes to bring you as well, jewellery makers. But one of the world's most popular gemstones, most certainly. I wouldn't be surprised, you know, next on the list for malachite, I wouldn't be surprised if Eddie Levion starts shouting about it. Yeah, the through drill drops are flying on pre-order, jewellery makers, so we're going to have to bring those next. Just crying out for a head pin, that's all they need. Literally a head pin through the centre. Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it. Would you do anything different to that than that, Linda?
What, the head pin?
Yeah.
No, I think they're so pure and beautiful. I don't want to mess around with them.
No,
I wouldn't put much. No.
That's the joy. This is the thing. The drill hole positioning makes such a difference because if they were drilled horizontally, does that make sense? So the drill hole wasn't going through the sort of from top to bottom. all of a sudden then you've got to do a different technique to actually attach it, haven't you? Whereas when you can put a head pin literally up, sorry, from the bottom to the top, literally loop on, job done. It's that simple. 50 carats of your malachite here. Look at those. They are gorgeous. And this is a cut we never see. That's a cut we never see. I want these. Crying out to be pendants and earrings in my head.
Yeah,
but I'm quite a basic jewellery maker though. You could create like a graduated tassel.
See, I like them the other way around. You know, sort of like little teardrops or urns. You can have them either way.
Oh, inverted.
Yeah.
Oh, see, Alison does that too. See, Alison has the sort of the fat bit at the top. Yeah.
Well, it's the elegance sort of coming down.
That's true, yeah. Lovely. Oh, yeah, they'd be gorgeous.
You could have a little chain coming through.
Oh, beautiful. Look at that pop of colour. We are starting at £29.99, jewellery makers. Ross, if you'd have put a 1 in front of those graphics, I'd have been absolutely gobsmacked. Because of the quality and the desirability of this gemstone. So 129 is more than feasible in my head. But you're starting here. Have I got quantity of these then? Oh, really? 50 of everything? Because it was a smaller quantity or a lower price tag, I assumed there was a bigger quantity. Not the case. Davinia, well done getting in there nice and quickly, as is London, both multi-buying. Charlene in Middlesex, Carol in Berkshire, John in London, Sussex, you're there. Sally, you're there. Helena, you're there as well. Oh, I'm kicking myself now. I should have brought my phone into the studio. Well done, everybody. Make sure you're checking out. I'll be making the most of these in the break. Don't you worry about that. I don't pass up malachite opportunities. £19.99 only. So elegant. Just 3. Large, medium, small. As you said, pointing down like, oh, that's gorgeous. Beautiful. £20. They're flying out the door, jewellery makers. Make sure you're checking out your basket. And would we all agree? And I'm biased. I think Jewellery Maker, you saw it first. I think you saw the rise of malachite. Oh, there you go. It sounds like it should be a book.
The rise.
Shouldn't it? Jewellery Maker, the rise of malachite. But you did, didn't you? You were very much on board with malachite before our sister channel was, anyway. They didn't do collections back then of this gemstone. They used to do it in others, like chrysocolla. But malachite's always been one of your most popular. Hello, Davinia. Lovely to see Linda back on our screens. And a malachite showcase on the same day. She says I couldn't ask for more.
Oh,
I know. We're in heaven, aren't we, Davinia? Absolute heaven. Stay where you are. You've got the cubes coming up next. And we've only got 50 of each of these. So if you leave it in your basket, that's risky. Very, very risky. Cubes are coming up next, everyone, and they're graduated as well, which are always incredibly popular. Popular on pre-order once again. Oh, lovely. Just because they're such a simple cut, I think they just need a simple piece.
That's lovely.
You know, like Piaget do. It's really simple. Davinia, you're a malachite lover, clearly. She's jumped in and bought 2 of these already. Now, we're not going to mess around. Not going to dilly-dally. Big carat weight. You've got 70 carats here, jewellery makers, because don't forget we've got the Whammer tool coming up in the 12 o'clock hour. It's on pre-order. Jewellery makers. Look at the quality of that malachite, and it's all natural. It's one of those gems you just think, how has Mother Nature created such a vision of colour? Straight away, have I got 50? Yeah, 50 of these as well. They are graduated as well. Something quite, as you mentioned it earlier on, Linda, something quite contemporary about a square or a cube.
It's chunky. You're seeing, it's not overdone, is it? I don't know what it is. It's just, I love those. I love the cubes, I must say.
Do you think it's because you've got such detail in the gemstone?
I think
that actually you can keep it very simple on the outside.
Absolutely. You see more of the front of the gemstone when it's a square. When it's a cut, you can't always see around it when you're wearing it. That you'll see it, you know, like a little painting.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's like that canvas. Oh, something's just popped into my head and I'll mention in a second. 1999. If I was to bring you a strand, if I was to take a rough diamond and cut it into a cube, I have to tell you, it wouldn't do that much.
No.
It wouldn't look that spectacular. You might think, of course it would, it's a diamond. A diamond needs facets or needs a rough texture to bring you that luster. So if you actually cut a rough diamond into a cube, it would be like, oh. It'd be a bit underwhelming is my point. Whereas a malachite in a cube, you're going to have all those wonderful patterns. Hello, Davinia saying, I am a lover of malachite and simply love cubes too. Edgy, she says.
Edgy, that's the word.
They are edgy. They're cool, aren't they? Make sure you're checking out. We only had 50 of each of these jewellery makers. It is true that, though, you know, there are certain gems that need all the facets. You need the 57, 58 facets of a round brilliant cup with a diamond. You do. Because that's where you get the scintillation and the fire and the dispersion. Whereas a malachite actually doesn't need it. Next up, jewellery makers. I think I know. The what? Yes. Oh, they're beautiful. I'm going to do this. So I'm just panicking as well. I've lost my ring. Anyway, that's something I can discuss at a later stage.
I'll make you one.
Here we go, look. I'm not even sure if it was today. Look, imagine that.
Wow. Love it.
Just one.
I'd do it the other way, actually. I'd do it along.
Would you?
Yeah.
Very elegant.
Very elegant. That is
These are graduated. Oh my goodness. I'd show you the other way, but unfortunately...
No, that looks lovely too.
How about that?
Yeah.
Look at how beautiful. Each and every single one.
You could set them like cabochons, couldn't you?
Yeah. An absolute work of art. Each and every single one. Thousands of years of formation. Captured. Like captured like the rings of a tree, aren't they? And how they actually progress and grow. And it's natural. Now, this is the only strand that we have like this, jewellery makers. So if you are looking for size, this is definitely the one for you.
Lush again.
Yeah. They are lush. The only strand we have like this. And there's 50, it's brand new, it's a premiere opportunity. We're already under £100. Bigger carat weight again. Let's do an unbelievable deal. £19.99, even though we've jumped up quite considerably. Just by, 10 carats? You've jumped up. Big individual stones for under £20. There's 50, so again, you need to be quick checking out your baskets. These will lend themselves to those of you that do your silversmithing as well, won't they? Or if you do wire weaving.
Wire weaving, you could set them like gems, like cabochons, as I said, because they're flat-backed.
Yeah?
No, they'd fit any sort of jewellery making.
Absolutely beautiful jewellery makers. There's multi-buyers galore. Well done, Linda, Deborah, Patricia, Jane's got 3, Davinia, Janet's multi-buying, Tennessee, Anne, Maker, hello to you, Paula, London and Leslie, Phil and Cornwall, hello to you, David in Middlesex, Linda in Essex. We've always been enthusiastic about this beautiful gemstone jewellery makers, and it seems like the rest of the jewellery world has caught up. I've always said it, jewellery maker. I've loved malachite from the very get-go, and what's not to love? It's natural, it's distinctive, it's unique, it's exciting, it's, I just think literally it's inspiring as well. I think, it's steeped in history. What's not to adore about this gemstone? Well done. Sorry, excuse me. Now we've got 2 more strands. Both of which We can bring you your innovative, unique cuts, but we will always try and source the classic favourites. Now, the good news on these is we've actually got 100 of each. I'm going to start with one that you could quite literally just restrand. There's 100 of these. Ah, it's beautiful. And this is a perfect example of you just imagining it in a finished piece of jewellery, just like so. I don't think you need to reinvent the wheel, do you?
No.
We have 100 available. Yeah, we'll always bring you your new cuts, exciting shapes. But we still need the rounds, don't we? Like Piaget, we just use one single round in their necklace. A single one. And it's £2,000. Now, ours isn't in 18 karat gold, granted, but you could turn it into that. We have a bigger quantity. We have the same quality, and already collectors getting involved. Let's get this straight away under £50, jewellery makers. And then I'll tell you we're not even stopping there. I'll show you the should be. This is, yeah, we are set, or rather I should say our producers are set a target price. You know, this is what they would like, you know, in an ideal world. And sometimes, you know, they can tweak that a little bit. For rounds of this quality, of this size, of this scale, of this carat weight, 95 carats, mind, we should be closing here. Gosh, that's unbelievable, Roscoe. $29.99 for malachite. A minute clock. Really? Have you noticed there's been a bit of a pattern? We're going to bring you 95 carats of malachite under £20 today. You don't have to be a jewellery maker to actually work with something like this. You don't need to have the, what I mean by that, you don't need to have the experience.
You just rethread. You know the worry beads that you have abroad that they just, that with the tassel, I was just thinking, wouldn't it be nice just to hold and keep in your bag?
And all the metaphysical beliefs attached to this gemstone. I did say it, it's going under 20 quid, which is absolutely crazy for malachite. There are certain gemstones that we can bring for under £20, granted. We can bring you your certain jaspers. We can bring you certain quartzes. We can't bring you a gemstone that's A, totally and utterly natural. We can, in answer to that, but we shouldn't. Totally natural, very shallow forming, so therefore rare. Yes, it's formed in different locations around the world, but no doubt about it, it's not abundant. £19.99 only, jewellery makers. We have 100 available all around the world getting involved. Oh, Roscoe. Okay. Hey, it's my favourite gem. He says there's 100. Should we do it? Should we do it?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Go down.
Going down even lower. Try and find malachite on the high street, by the way. It's unlikely. And if you do, it's not going to be under 20 quid, or at least I very much doubt it. Already collectors getting there. We're only doing this because of the quantity, jewellery makers. The bigger the quantity, the lower the price. But we need to see you there. Oh, they are. There they are. I can see you all there. Sorry, there was a flurry on our call screens. One of the most affordable price malachite that we may have ever done, especially in rounds. Malachite nuggets, okay, yeah, maybe. Under 20 quid. Would you agree? Because nuggets would have been cut off a stone. So they are a little bit more inexpensive. Malachite in a bead, when you've just seen literally Piaget for £2,000 for a 6mm. You're getting a graduated strand from 7 to 8. You're right, Ross, that is one of the lowest prices I've ever done on malachite. Malachite nuggets should be more than that. Malachite nuggets, I know I've brought to wear for more than that in the past. I agree. There was a period when no malachite was on our show for less than £50.
Wow.
They were because it's globally so sought after. You know, if the nuggets that I just mentioned, you saw those once in a blue moon. You know, there was a time when malachite was always very elusive, by the way. We never really did showcases of it, and it was considered too. Not $14.99. Multi-buyers galore, jewellery makers. Make sure you're checking out your baskets to guarantee your success. We had 100, but they're flying, absolutely flying. Less than 30 of these remain. So, yeah, Patricia, for example, if you want those 6, I'll be checking them out. You've got to be checking those out. Jenny in Surrey, if you want those 4, definitely check those out. Definitely check them out. 100 soon disappears when you've got gemstone as popular as malachite actually is. Congratulations. Adam, are you making fun of my voice? I know I'm very nasally at the moment. It's a mixture of nasal and No, I know, man. He's not. Adam, you're not unkind. He says I was getting on board with her. Make sure you check it out. It's true. You do need to, otherwise you are going to miss out. Denise in Derbyshire, well done to you. Aisha, oh, good news. I've got one final strand to bring you. The biggest carat weight of the entire selection. There's 100 again. Are you ready? It's a full 38 centimetre strand. What would you do with something like this then? A gem that you hold so dear.
Well, you could do what I've just done with the previous, 9 o'clock, couldn't you? Wire onto pieces, say like rings, and because they're smaller, these ones.
Yeah.
What are these, 4 mil?
No.
5?
5 to 6.
5 to 6. Okay.
So it's got a gentle graduation.
Yeah, I do love it with pearls. So
yeah.
I think I would intersperse it with pearls.
I'm with a total agreement with you there, because malachite, I think, is just the most gorgeous combination. And it's one Wolf and Badger do as well. They team. I think there's one where it's like literally one side's malachite and the other side's Baroque pearls. Looks absolutely beautiful. Yeah. Now this is our finale strand, is that right? And it's a full 38 centimetre strand, this one, so it's much longer. I'll tell you that, Ross is saying there are 2 price crashes to this. 2 price crashes. The first price crash. Okay, 135 carats. Wow, you went straight there. Under 20 quid. For malachite. 60 seconds, we're not stopping. We've got 100 of these. And who knows when the next malachite showcase will be. Who knows? The quality of our malachite as well, I think, is second to none. I know I mentioned this at the beginning of the showcase, but please be careful. If you do your price comparisons, and by all means do, please be careful that you are comparing the real deal, that it is natural, that it is genuine. Please be mindful that there is so much synthetic malachite out there. The one problem is that when you're talking about a gem as in the limelight as malachite is, it kind of leaves itself open and exposed to imitation, and they will quite crudely paint it. Which, yeah, I mean, our jewellery makers are knowledgeable enough to recognise that, I think. We're at £19.99, but it's not where we're stopping. This is a stupid deal, says producer Ross. Oh, I like that. He's not wrong though, is he? $14.99 for a 38 centimetre strand as well, Ross. Not the little ones. It's not the little one. It's a 38 centimetre strand.
Do you know what I've thought I would do? I would just make gold jump rings,
Nice.
rethread it in between each bead, and it would just like a tiny bit of a spacer,
Yeah.
just separates them,
Yeah.
and it just gives that
Illuminates
hint
them.
of, yeah, just that. Gold jump rings, gold clasp.
Oh, gorgeous. And I think the same with pearls. You know, that little knot, which is what, millimetres, is enough to separate them. Especially when you've got a dark gem like this as well.
Yeah, it
A
highlights.
little bit of gold.
Yeah. Well, also when it's on the skin, it just
Yeah.
pops them, doesn't it?
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. Oh, absolutely amazing jewellery makers. £14.99 again. Make sure you're checking out. We had 100. What a finale. What a showcase. It's always a pleasure, though, to talk about malachite. It's absolutely beautiful. Do you know, some time ago, and I am going back quite a while, actually. I was talking to our sister channel, and it was when I did a bit of... I was studying some interior design as well at the same time as Jewellery Maker. So, and they were like, oh, would you want to do like your own sort of interior design collection? And I was like, no, because all I can see is malachite wallpaper. That's all I could see. That's all I would want to do, just malachite wallpaper. That's it. And malachite this and malachite that and lampshades. Everything would just be malachite, basically. My house would just be malachite. Malachite headboards, everything. And bedspreads. It would just be absolutely beautiful. Very bougie. £14.99 jewellery makers. Well done to each and every single one of you. I don't know. I think we'd all sleep quite comfortably. And those eternal shades of green, remember? Fields of paradise. £14.99. Well done, everybody. Now, if you do have any questions for our lovely Linda, who is back, welcome back into the jewellery... Well, you never left.
No, I've always been around
You've
somewhere.
Always, yes.
Hiding
it's
somewhere.
Lovely to have you back in the studio. Now, we've got a very, very, very exciting hour. Now, it's available on pre-order, but we have your own invention, the Whammer Hammer.
The Whammer Hammer strikes again.
Strikes again. And we're bringing some aluminium wire as well.
Yep.
Now, what we're going to do is when we come back from the break, we're going to replay the early bird. There's quite a few people have asked to see it again. So those are the jump rings, aren't they? Okay. So we'll replay those. And remember that the Whammer Hammer is on pre-order. We've only got 100. That's not actually that many. We've got literally the inventor herself in the studio as well. So a perfect opportunity for you to ask any questions whatsoever. And you know, what you can achieve. You know, the Whammer Hammer tool has been a huge... When did you invent it? What year was it? Do you remember?
There's a long story behind it because I actually invented a black... I've got to be honest, I never designed this colour.
Right, okay.
So, first of all, it was a black-handled carbon fibre handle, and it just had 3 heads.
Uh-huh.
That fell into the wrong hands, went nowhere. This was 10 years ago.
Right, okay.
And then I thought, no, it worked so well. It worked in all my workshops so well. I only had 3 at that time, that I ended up going to Beadsmith in America and saying, would you sell this? So they redistributed, they manufactured it again. Relaunched it. That was the black. So the word whammer came from wire hammer, whammer.
Yes.
That's where it came from. And then they said, why don't you do one that has more heads? So this one that we're going to sell today is the deluxe version with 5 heads.
Interchangeable heads.
Interchangeable heads. So that's the reason. It's for metalwork, it's for metal stamping, it's for wire, it's for texturing metal and wire. It's for everything. So it's all your jewellery hammer needs in
one tool. It's on pre-order right now, jewellery makers, and like we said, if you've got any questions for Linda, now's the time. Send them into the studio so that Ross can compile them. We've even got sort of the block too, haven't we? So
we've got
and we've also got some aluminium wire to bring you as well. Incredible designs by Linda, of course. Don't go anywhere, jewellery makers. Massive congratulations on your malachite, and we'll see you after this.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all well. It's Mark here. I am really looking forward to being back in the studio this Saturday, the 11th of January, to amazing project hours. In the 9 o'clock hour, we've got a very limited stock left of my pre-Christmas jadeite butterfly necklace. You get the full kit. You get this incredible carved butterfly with the 2 links. You get all of the seed beads you need, all of the instructions to make this incredible kiss cross embellished necklace. And then at 12 o'clock, as part of our new Hobby New Year section, we've got the most incredible bundle, which I'm really looking forward to sharing with you. We have got not 1, not 2, but 3 Kumihimo boards, a pack of T-pins, all
fantastic projects in both of my hours. In my instructions, I've gone right back to basics. So if you are a beginner, you're going to be shown everything that you need to know in the demo and in the instructions. So I hope you can join me back in the warm, in the studio on Sunday at JM.
Hi, I'm Rachel Smith and I'm guest designer on JewelleryMaker on Monday the 13th of January. I can't wait to meet the team and I can't wait to show you what delights we've got in store for you. Now in the 9 o'clock hour we've got some beautiful beryl gemstones, and then at 12 o'clock we have got some bundles of gemstone nuggets. I'll give you a quick sneaky peek. These are just some of the glorious colours available, and they come with findings boxes in either the silver or the gold, and I'm going to be showing you different ideas of how to use your bundles and also giving you some demonstrations, so hope you can join us then.
Never miss a show by watching on the go with the JewelleryMaker app. Head over to your app store now and search JewelleryMaker and simply download to your smartphone or tablet. You can watch the shows live and see your favourite presenters and guests. Click on the Today button to shop all of the products that are featured on today's show. Want to know what's hot? Then click here to see today's bestsellers and highlights. Have you missed a show or want to watch one back? Then click on the schedule button and you can go back 7 days to watch and shop, and you can also see what's coming up over the next 7 days. Want to say hello or ask a question to our guests? Then send a message to the studio. You can also keep in touch with all the latest news, events, product launches and much more by clicking for our social media pages. Never miss a show by watching on the go with JewelleryMaker.
Have you purchased one of our projects and want to download the instructions? Then simply log into your account at JewelleryMaker.com. Go to your order history, find your order and click on Download Content. From there you can save to your computer or print off a copy. Please note that your project sheet will be available once your order has been dispatched. Jewellery Maker. Create, wear, share.
Where's this morning gone? It's gone so fast, isn't it?
It has.
Oh, what a lovely show it has been as well. I apologise for all the snuffling and the sneezing and the coughing, but we got there in the end, didn't we? And like I said earlier on, there was no way I was going to miss out on today. Now, the Whammer Hammer is on pre-order. You can get yours, Jewellery Makers, and any messages, any questions, get them in now. The Whammer Hammer. That is such a clever idea.
Well, you know where it came from? It was because I was trained in metalwork with silversmithing hammers, and they are twice as long, aren't they?
Yes.
Handles. So I cut my silversmithing planishing hammer handle, because it was wood, obviously, down to half when I was working with wire. And I realised I could get just the precision I wanted of hammering on wire, not metal, obviously. So wire is so thin. And it worked perfectly, and that's where the idea really came from, because it was exactly what I wanted. This shorter hammer,
you
handle.
Get more precision, don't you?
Yeah, because you can position the blow, and you can direct the blow to where you want to move the metal. Because you're moving the metal out when you're hammering.
So there's a lot of people very excited, and it's already going on pre-order, so no surprises there. So add the silicone block 2. That's available as well, Jewellery Makers, on pre-order. A third of the stock available of both have already gone. So I would encourage shopping ahead so you avoid any disappointment if you've got your heart set on owning the Whammer Hammer. And of course, any questions that you have. I'll tell you what, we'll also put the aluminium wire on pre-order, because we haven't seen that in a very long time. And you're very enthusiastic about the aluminium wire earlier on, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I started using aluminium a few years ago because I wanted to make bigger structures for the wall, so like wall art. And if you take copper-plated wires, they're actually, as the thicker they are, the harder they are to manipulate.
Yeah.
And so I tried aluminium, and I've always thought, oh, well, aluminium-based metal wouldn't be good. But then, when I researched it, I realised so many good things about it. It doesn't tarnish.
Yes.
A lot of people with sensitive skins, they need hypoallergenic stuff. Most people can wear aluminium against their skin. They don't get a reaction like nickel, because there's no nickel in it. And for dexterity problems. So there's so many plus points to it. And this was originally for sort of wall art, so bigger stuff. And then I started experimenting with jewellery, and it's the lightweightness of it. So for big statement earrings, for pendants, for things like that, and for getting started. So if you're literally just getting started with your jewellery making journey, it's the one to start off with, because you get a feel for how to create shapes, and then how to hammer, and then you can go on to whatever you want to do. So the main project today is making lots of different shapes, learning to use wire to make different shapes. And I don't want you to think that these shapes are set in stone in any way. You can make your own shape. So whichever, shape you want to do, you can do, as long as you've got a linking end to put them together. So, the instructions for this, I've called it the squiggle wiggle.
Oh, I like that.
Because, that's how you describe something like that. And it is a long...
Which would be really heavy if that was copper, wouldn't it? That would be quite a heavy necklace.
Yeah.
But being aluminium, it's much more lightweight. Yeah. Ross is just saying the aluminium wire is flying on pre-order, so...
As I say, it does not tarnish. So can you imagine the benefits of something that you can use and then keep for a while on, I don't know, for your stand on a show or something like that, and it does not tarnish? To me, that is just wow.
Yeah.
Wowza.
Not having to clean it all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, everything is on pre-order right now, Jewellery Makers, so you can see it there on the website. What is that? $4.99? That's not right. Is that per aluminium reel? That's for all of them?
For all of them. Oh, that's good. That is so good. Yeah, for how many? 1, 2, 3, 4.
5?
5, was it 5? Oh, the black. I didn't see the black. Yeah, there's black. Actually, everybody loves the black.
Oh my good. Tell me there's quantity, Roscoe. Is there? There's 200. I think they'll sell out though before we even get to play them. Okay, now they're all on pre-order right now, Jewellery Makers, but we did promise that we would recap the early bird. Lots of you have messaged in about the early bird. We're going to do something else first, okay? You're going to mix it up. You're mixing it up, Ross. You're freestyling. I do. Should we do a massive closeout deal on the first and only piece of jade out that we've brought you today? This is the Enlightenment carving. Ooh. Oh gosh, that's amazing detail. It's ice grade. What that refers to is the wow. Can I just show you the back first? I know this is a little bit unconventional, but look at that translucency. Remember, every jade should look like a melting ice cube. Look when it hits the light. Look at that. That refers to its fine crystal structure. If it didn't have a fine crystal structure, it would be opaque and kind of matte, coarse, effectively. It wouldn't have that glossiness to it. Now, I'm going to show you side profile as well, because you remember this is carved by hand, and we're talking about, what's that, about 5mm in thickness? Look at the detail. In that work of art. I popped to the assay office before this hit, before the lurginess set in. I actually popped to the assay office in Birmingham, and I was chatting to one of the gemologists there, and she was saying about sort of jade and how we're very much, she was saying, sort of backing up everything that we say on our screens, that we're learning about jade much more here in the West. She said, I'm seeing a lot of people actually sending in jade pieces to actually be valued, and the treatments in particular. By the way, the piece I took up there was that lavender piece that I took a bit of a punt on. I don't know the outcome yet. So, it's cost me, by the way, £100, and that's a deposit, just to have the treatment tested. So it might come back that's type B and type C. So in which case it's £100, there we go, I don't need a certificate. If it comes back type A, then I will get a certificate. You get that certificate for free here at Jewellery Makers. I've just paid £100 for one. Yours is totally natural, type A, genuine jadeite. That information, because I think we lose sight of this, is so invaluable in the world of jade, especially. In the world of jade. Plus, Ross has just said he's going to do a closeout deal. This is a big thank you to everybody that's been joining in today. 95 carat of your icy grade type A Burmese jade. The only price point that we've ever closed this beautiful master carving, this work of art, previously has been. Well, that's incredible, isn't it? Never closed anywhere lower. All the craftsmanship. You've got to remember, this was once a piece of rough that by hand, you've got that scalloped edges, you've got the drill hole, you've got the artistry, all that intricacy. Can you see the foliage? Can you see literally the boat just here? You can see the silhouettes literally crossing the bridge. If we see 20 of you, 19 now, 18. If you see 18 more people, join us on the web or the phone lines. We're going to half the lowest price that this has previously ever closed at, which is $99.99, by the way. So you'll get 50% off that amazing price. It is clearly a brand new low. We need to see 15 more people, jewellery makers, in order to do this. We want to do a closeout deal. Look at that translucency. Wow. Remember, with jade, you're looking for the translucency as well as the colouring. Look at that. And that's me holding it a good few inches away. Should we put it back in further? Look at that artistry. You can see the trees, can't you? You can see even the ripples in the water. We are going to halve that price point. You can see the man fishing there. You can see the silhouettes crossing the bridge. You can see the overhanging trees. You can see the pagodas. Look how beautiful this artistry is. Is there enough people, Roscoe? No. No. He says no, not enough.
Oh, that would have gone beautifully with a malachite.
It would have gone beautifully. I tell you what, Linda. You've twisted our arm. We need 7 more people. So let's do another.
Come on, all the Lindas.
Come on, Lindas. We know there's a group of you watching today. The Lindas are uniting together. A National Linda Day.
Come on. All the malachite buyers and the Lindas.
And that goes for if you know a Linda. You know a Linda, or you love a Linda, or you want to be Linda. Whatever it is. Don't make me laugh because it makes me cough. We will half that price point for you. We need how many more, Ross? There's loads in now. He says, good. I'm going to do it. Good, because if I start laughing and start coughing, and that's never good. For all the Lindas out there, and anybody that wants to be a Linda. It's we've named it National Linda Day in honour of our very own Linda. Oh, it's absolutely incredible, isn't it, jewellery makers? Here's me joking when I'm actually holding one of the world's rarest gemstones. Seriously, sorry, I've just kind of whipped myself back into line here. You are talking about Type A, icy grade, Fei Chi. It's never been anywhere near $49.99. And here's you having a laugh and a joke. What are you doing? I literally was in the assay office just before the lurgy set in. I was talking about our jadeite here at Jewellery Maker, the gemologist who came down from the laboratory, thank you. She actually came down and she was chatting to me. She was like, it's really exciting. They're getting more and more and more jade now through their doors to actually be treatment tested. Honestly, I got quite a good rate. She kind of did, yeah, she shaved it quite a bit off the price point. It was meant to be £270 to have the treatment test alone. And she said, I'll do it for 100. She goes, but if it's Type A grade, then you'll have to pay the extra then for a certificate. I was like, that's fair enough. Because if it's Type B or Type C, I don't care about the certificate, frankly. You get all of that for free here at Jewellery Maker. That's invaluable. Paula, well done. Anne, well done. Sally, well done. Mavis, well done. Carol, Florence. Beryl, well done to you. Hertfordshire. Susan in Essex. Claire in Yorkshire. Paula, you're there. Northumberland. Make sure you're checking out your baskets. Never closed anywhere near that price point previously before. Well, look at the split pay. £12.49, Ross. It's ridiculous. It's mined out. The Burmese mine is closed in 2020. That's like hundreds and hundreds of years of history done and dusted. And you've just got it for 50 quid. Or £12.50 if you want to do it on 0%. Unbelievable. Well done, everybody. Make sure you're checking out your baskets. What a deal. Unbelievable deal. Don't forget to pre-order on the Whammer Hammer and the block and also your aluminium wire. So, in fact, the demand for those is so high, we're going to get straight into this, Jewellery Makers. So, this is wonderful, Linda. I'm not sitting next to her, so I don't want Linda to catch this, basically. So, yeah, I wouldn't want you to get poorly. So, Linda, perhaps for anybody that's just tuned in, I know we've done introductions throughout the course of the show, but would you mind sort of introducing yourself and sort of telling us a little bit about what you have in front of you?
Yeah, definitely, Elle. Well, this is the deluxe Whammer Hammer, and I want to say that I never designed it this colour.
Okay.
Bead Smith brought it out this colour, and I said, why is I wanted it black and silver, and they said they did market research in America, and in America this was the colour. But the one thing I'd say about the colour is when you've got it in your toolbox,
you go straight to it.
You'll see it, so you won't miss it. So you buy this and you'll never have to buy another hammer again. Well, no, I say that. You can buy other hammers, of course, but it should be your all-round.
One size fits all?
Yeah, yeah, because what it is a multi-tool.
Okay.
So the silver end is slightly convex, so it's like a planishing hammer, and that is fixed. You can't take that bit off. So that's always there, and I use that pretty much all the time. And then you've got the nylon head. Well, we all use a nylon, hide mallet or nylon head hammer because you want to flatten down things without making marks.
Is that what you would use to work harden as well?
No, not really for work hardening. This is more for flattening down.
Okay.
And so not marking. So say if you've textured a piece,
yeah,
and it's gone a bit raised,
yeah,
or sort of undulating, you want to tap it down but not get rid of the texture again. No, don't leave any marks. Or if you're using coloured wires, you don't want to, when you're hammering, you don't want to sort of take the colour off. So that's what that would be used for. Then the brass head is for metal stamping. Now I do hope to be bringing you a show on metal stamping because I love doing metal stamping. So you'd need metal punches, steel punches for this, and then that's for that. But I'm not going to be showcasing any of that today. So that's for another show, the brass. And then you've got two more texture heads. So this one is the dapping head. So the dapping head is for little dimples in your metal. So often you want to have just a little, it'll make everything sparkle. Can you see how on this piece of, it's aluminium in fact, but you can do it on silver, you get that little textured surface. So that's for that. Some people call it a ball peen hammer, hammer that, you can get silversmithing hammers like that. Oh, what am I doing? I've done that one. So the other texture head is the pike head, which strikes little strike marks like little sun rays or little, sort of lines. That, if you can see, is around, I don't know if you can see that, around the outside of this. So I often put it on my metal work, just little strike sort of rays that come out. But you can also cross hatch that. So if you hammer down and then hammer in the other direction, you can get lovely sort of cross hatching marks. But you can see how the texturing would work on a surface like that. And in fact, on that one, in the middle, I think there is a bit of a heart or something on there. That might have been, a bit of metal stamping, right?
I can see the little heart, yeah.
So those are all the different, so that's really, for most of your jewellery needs, you've got two texture heads, you've got metal stamping, you've got your nylon head, you've got your planishing head. So they're all there. So you only have to buy this once, but you do need to have a steel block. So this, in fact, when I open this up, this is the one you're going to get. So this particular steel block, it's almost like a cosmetic mirror. I've never seen one as shiny as this. Yeah. But it's really...
Or an ice hockey putt.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to put your lipstick on, just use this. Sort of,
yeah.
You look in the mirror and you've got it. But it's really, really good because it's so highly polished, it doesn't mark any of your metal or your wires. So this is your perfect combination for your hammer. You just need these two things and then you're away. So, I can show you various sort of how I would hammer, because hammering is also, it is a technique. So, everyone thinks, oh, I know how to hammer, piece of wood, a nail, that's what You
Actually,
do.
that's not that easy
No,
to do.
it isn't. It takes practice.
Yes.
So you do need to practice. So don't feel that you're going to get this straight away, because I've been hammering things for years.
Yeah.
And it is I call it whammer therapy.
Yeah.
It's a bit like people who do drumming. You know, they or join a choir.
It's a release.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a therapy. It really does get rid of all your blues. I hammer my blues away. So I've got this aluminium wire. When you buy this, I do recommend that you get these gorgeous colours.
Especially a £5 for all of
I know.
those.
That is a bargain. And it means you can experiment. You
Yeah.
can feel free to experiment. So the only problem with anything that's colour coated is that if you hammer too much, you'll get rid of the coating.
Okay.
And I was a bit worried when I saw them, because I thought, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to show, you know, how you can hammer. But what I will say is I made some pieces that you will see the samples of. And I actually hammered away the coating,
In the
and
middle?
I loved it. Yeah, in the middle, one of my samples is what I call my feather necklace. And do you see, I've
That's
hammered it.
amazing.
Hammered it to the point that the coating has gone, and it doesn't mean I've gone ballistic on it. It just it's a technique.
You've almost deliberate. They're
Yeah.
amazing.
And then so that's the coloured wire. But so you have to understand the coating ones. The coating can come off, and then the silver ones, because there's a gunmetal and there's a silver one, you can hammer to your heart's content on those. But you can hammer all of them. It's just you can go wild if you want to. You know.
Well, yes, because
Yeah.
you've hammered the others. I can see.
Yeah,
there,
they've all
but,
been hammered.
Obviously, to a point.
Yeah.
There's a stop point.
So you have to know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we've put the graphics in for the aluminium wire, because this is going to fly out the well. It's flying out the door, and it's going to sell out. So we have to bring it to air first. So I'm sorry to interrupt. We'll do that now. There was 200, $4.99. That's for all 5 reels.
That's really good. That is so good.
We see aluminium wire. I can't remember the last time, to be honest. And it's so lightweight, isn't it?
It's so lightweight. It's great for ring making as well, because you can make. I mean, it's just great for chunky jewellery.
Yeah.
If you like chunky, then this is your medium.
Oh, wow, they're amazing.
But also thinner aluminium. This is 1.5 mil that you're buying in those coils. If you use thinner wires, they are a bit brittle. So just watch out, you know, when you're hammering them, they will be too brittle. And what I'd say is twist them together if you've got thinner gauges, and then make thicker cable and then work with thicker cable. But what you're buying here is just right for these bigger, chunkier pieces.
Love these. Yeah. They've absolutely flown out the door, the aluminium wire, no surprises. I'm shocked by that price. Look at you all there. And that's just the top section. Watch this. Ready? The powers of technology. Yeah. 200 doesn't last very long when you see that many names there. Jewellery makers, especially multi-buying. Again, do get your questions in to our lovely Linda, and shop ahead on the Wham Hammer, and likewise the steel block too. So, yeah, you disappear off the bottom of the screens. If you're on the right-hand side column, you can see just behind that line, you need to be checking it out, Jewellery Makers. How are we doing in terms of stock levels of the aluminium wire? 30 left, okay, so definitely get a wriggle on. Sorry, Linda, take it away.
Okay, well, I'm going to show you different shapes that you can create with this lovely bundle that you're going to get at Jewellery Maker. So if you've got the whammer, and you've got a block, and you've got that wire, you don't need actually any gemstones or beads for this. This is just to get you used to sort of starting off on your wire journey. So let me show you. First of all, I'm going to show you a spiral, which is probably the most, I don't know, most people will want to know how to create a spiral. So I'm just going to go with my round nose pliers and start off with just a little circle. So this doesn't have to be fantastically accurate, it's just start off with a circle. Then hold that in your flat nose pliers and just continue coiling the wire around. Now, because this wire is so soft, you can actually do this with your fingers. It is that soft and you can control it. Some people find holding tools a bit difficult. So just, you know, you'll see how soft and flexible this is just using your fingers like that. And you're just making a lovely spiral. Now, to make something that can be linked on both sides, I'm going to place my round nose pliers just where I finished spiraling it and bring the wire completely around the tool and then back to the other side. And what that does is create a loop or a link at that top end. And then I'm going to continue bringing the wire around the outside so that I can cut it off now with my cutters. And then, so I've got that shape there, and then I'm going to make a link at the opposite end. So that means I can link this unit top and bottom. So I can create a linking system from here and from there. So you can make lovely long chains like this. I'm making it quite big so you can see it. Of course you can make this much smaller. Now, because this is aluminium, look how soft it is. I can still, you know, distort it. So we've got to fix it, and that's what hammering does. What hammering does is, well, it's called work hardening, and it compresses all the sort of invisible molecules in the metal, compresses them together to make it one. So when you're hammering something like this, you've got to be careful of that crossed over area because you can weaken it. But what you do is you don't go straight down, you just stroke the metal out. So you've got to hold on to it on one side because you don't want it to distort too much. But I'm just letting the weight of the hammer do a lot of the work. But then you can see how it's spreading it out there. And if it distorts a bit, just push it back into shape. And then I go to the other side. Do you see how I'm pushing it outwards, like it's sort of spreading it like that? And then I'm just going to hit it in the middle a little bit to toughen it up, and then a little bit at the top, but not the crossed over area. If it distorts, just bring it back with your fingers. But now this unit is much more solid. I can't move it around as much as I could when I first started. So that shows you, and if you feel, you see how when you hammer it, it spreads. I can see now that that's moved a little bit because I've spread it. If that happens, you can just cut it a little bit there and remake it to foreshorten it to make it a little bit shorter. And then that's much more of a... So that's just a spiral, but to show the feather idea, so let me use a colour, the colour coating, to show how you can get rid of that colour coating. So I'm going to cut, so that's just a length like that. And if I put my hammer right at the end, I'm just going to start by flattening it. So all that I'm doing there is just making it flatter. And then I'm going to increase the blow. And you can see how it's spreading out, and the coating is starting to come off, especially if I'm doing it that hard. And if you want it to spread out on different sides, that's where you hammer. You direct the blow. You see now it's coming out on this side because I was pulling it out that side. If I want it to come out on the other side, I'll pull it out on the other side and it starts coming out on the other side. If I want to even that out, I pull it so then it comes more central again. And so I can shape it. So I'm shaping it now to be more even. And I'm basically, it's a bit like if you had, if you were spreading something out. the way, the angle that you're hammering, and it's got to be flat on this surface, is going to push the metal out in whatever direction you do that. And you can see how that has really flared or mushroomed out. Now, when you first start, it won't be that, easy. It won't be that simple, and you'll find, oh, you're not getting these even shapes. So I'm going to tell you a little trick. Because you've hammered this aluminium to such a sort of foil flat area, you can use a pair of scissors rather, and if you wanted to make the necklace that you saw, like the feathered one I had, you can trim it. So any sort of, like, I always call them cauliflower bits, that sort of stick out and they don't look as even as you want. You can trim with a scissors and maybe a little needle file if you want to sort of, but you can see how I could shape that. Say if I wanted to get that into a point, I could just trim that and file that point.
Oh, yeah.
And you see you have a little spearhead. And so don't worry too much in the beginning about getting that perfect sort of shape of a feather, because you can use this little trick. So that's the flaring out. Now I wanted to also show you something like a bead or something that you could, put in between your gemstones. So this is quite chunky for the purposes of, showing it to you, demonstrating it to you. So I'll use the black one now, I think.
Oh, heads up as well, the wire's sold out.
Oh, wonderful.
All sold out, so well done. Over 200 of those.
Not surprised.
We will actually be bringing the hammer next. So we've got, before we go any further, just because we've got a few messages for you. So, Joanne in Shropshire, I have the original black Whammer hammer. I love it. Looking forward to seeing Linda's techniques.
Yeah, good.
Love that.
Oh, well done.
I think it's
Joanne.
a really key point that you mentioned earlier on about it being that colour does mean that you will naturally go to it in your tool bag, won't you?
It's true.
So I think that's a really key point there. Linda in North Yorkshire saying, I just love the Whammer hammer. Have to get another extra heads, yay.
Yay.
Oh, so you'd have the 3 heads previously, and
Yes.
now obviously this one has the 5, or you want spares?
So the 3 heads were these 2 and the dapping head.
Yeah.
So that was how it started with, because it was for wire.
Uh-huh.
So that was created for wire. So you can texture wire as well.
Yes.
Yeah, because you can flatten it and then texture
Of course.
it. Yeah.
Janice in London says, can I please ask what type of cutters you need to cut the aluminium wire? Normal?
Normal. You don't have to have any special
it's softer,
cut. It's
isn't it?
so soft.
Yeah.
So the only thing about this thickness of aluminium is when you cut it with your cutters, it does squidge it down. So you remember you were talking about jump rings coming to a point and leaving a burr. So you often have to cut it twice. So I don't know if I can show that.
Sure.
Let's try and show you. So if I made, let me just make a jump ring. So if I made a circle, rather, big circle like that, and then I cut it off. Now, when I'm cutting it off, oops, I don't know if you can see this, but...
Becky will get, if you hold it right there a second, Becky's going to, there you go. Right. Yes, we can.
Can you see, am I holding it right? This base wire has got the point on it. That one is the flush cut.
Yeah.
But that one's got a sort of tapered end.
Yeah.
So what I would do when I'm going to finish that off, I would come back and cut that tapered bit off. So now I've got 2 completely flush ends. So you see I had to do, because it's such thick wire and it's so squidgy and soft, you just have to come back, cut that bit off.
And swap it round.
Yeah. And then when you bring it together and create that link, then it's got a lovely flush and it sits completely together. So when you make
perfect. So actually we have got some tools or plier sets with cutters that actually quite unintentionally go beautifully with the Whammer hammer tool.
Excellent.
So if you are a teal fan and you want sort of your tools to match, you know.
Oh,
then these would be perfect, because I mean, that was unintentional, but you can see how beautifully they do match. I'm not saying that they are Linda's, obviously, but these are Jewellery Maker tools. Anyway, but you can use the cutters, obviously. They'll work on the aluminium wire. Aluminium is softer than copper, so your normal pliers will work, won't they?
Normal pliers work. All your normal jewellery making tools work with this.
Perfect. Okay, so you get all of those, 6 in total. All for £34.99.
And you're all colour-coded.
Yeah. How good's that?
Which makes you feel good, doesn't it?
Yes. And it's teal. Everyone loves teal.
Everybody loves teal.
Everybody loves a bit of teal. Sorry,
teal.
over to you. You were going to do like a cage.
Yeah, sort of cage, just to show you another sort of more, not a flat technique. This is unhammered. So again, back to our spiral, but this time it's a tight spiral. So I'm starting with that little circle, and then bringing the wire completely around itself, so it's sort of going around. So let's make that a bit bigger so you can see it eventually. Then I'm going to cut it off the spool. I'm working on a little bit that I had left from my samples. So I'm going to turn it round, go to the opposite end, do the same thing. So I've got that little first circle with my round nose pliers, and then I'm pushing, holding it with my flat nose pliers and pushing the rest of the wire around it in concentric circles. I mean, making spirals is probably the first thing you should learn if you're a wire worker, because wire lends itself to curling around itself. So there we've got 2, it's like a figure of 8 or an S. Then if we fold that a little bit, actually I'm not going to fold it completely yet, I'm going to first of all push with the tips of my round nose pliers. I'm going to push through the center and just start creating a space between the coils. And I'll get my chain nose pliers just to help wiggle those spaces open. So now I've got these coils pushed out, and then if I fold it completely in 2, I've created a sort of little sort of a ball or a bead. Don't know what you want to call it. If I roll it on my hand, you can see what it is. Normally we'd put a bead inside that. So if you had a little gemstone, you could definitely put that in that little cage. But I'm using it now because I've got no gemstones on this project. So if you're just buying the wire, you can re-thread it like a bead and then make your links. So I'm using my round nose pliers, and I was bending it a little bit to a right angle just to get it centered on my wire there. And then on the other side I'll cut it off, and I've just got enough to create another link on the other side. And the most important thing to do at the end is make sure that these links are sitting on the same plane, so that, you know, twist them around and then just go around making sure those gaps. So that is now a little sort of bead, you see, that you can use between things, or you can put in your chains. You can see how any shape will do. You can make these triangle shapes, you can make clasps, you can make any wiggle, you can make these lovely leaf shapes. You can connect your wire
that's cool.
together through the center as well. You see?
That's cool.
Yeah, so you can see how that would tessellate as well. So that's like riveting, isn't it? It's like it's the same idea as.
I can't get my head around that.
Yeah, so you've got a spiral here.
Yeah.
With a hole in it. Then I make another spiral, and the end of the wire comes through that hole, and it's spiraled again and flattened.
Oh.
Then the next one does the same, and it goes.
Clever.
It goes downward. So it was just to show that different ways of connecting is not always jump rings, is it? You you can do this sort of riveting idea with wire. Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Jewellery makers, loving these demonstrations, loving the techniques. What's this?
This was just to show you another shape. So using, say, gems, this is something I made, ages ago, but I thought I'd bring it along just to show you very simple wiggles, and they've all been hammered. And then you can put your gemstones or your, whatever in between, and just that simplicity, and none of them are quite the same, which makes it even, I think, more special, doesn't it? Because
Adam was literally about to say, well, how do you get them all the same? But
they're not. They're definitely not. And you see, even the clasp is integrated.
Oh, that's so clever. And that's
with
using the Whammer hammer to actually sort of flatten and harden it.
That's using the Whammer hammer. You can see that would just be, that shape is made like this. You just make a circle, because that's the top link.
Yeah.
Then you would hold that in your, depending how big you wanted these wiggles to be, you see, I'm just placing my pliers on the wire. So if I don't want it to go out any, because if I leave it there and then I place my pliers next to it, it will get wider and wider and wider. So if I don't want it that wide, I open it up a bit more, so I go underneath the last wiggle there. If I wanted to make this bigger, as I said, I would use bail making pliers. So they're always useful for making anything rounded. So I know you sell bail making pliers, but bail making pliers are like this. Yeah. So you've got two mandrels. So you could make bigger wiggles with the bail making pliers, and then I just finish off with a link. And so at the moment you can see that's just a wiggle, but then I push it together, because if you keep it open, what will happen is that you can, if you're wearing it, you can hook onto things.
Yeah.
So I tend to want it together. And then hammering is, you don't have to hammer the whole thing. You're really going on the outer side. So I'm going to hammer out these rounded areas. So I'm just pushing it out. This one, a little bit at the top. And that's probably all I need to do. Now, with hammering, it spreads the wire, as I said, so just come back, anything that needs... Can you see how much harder it is that I can't even manipulate it anymore? Yeah. I'm pressing it down. So this is now work hardened.
Really lovely connector.
A connector, really strong. Of course, you can make something much more even, but it's the randomness.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't go wrong, basically.
Do you know, to reference the Golden Globes again, I watched, I didn't really watch it, but Selena Gomez, Selena Gomez, I think it was, literally wore this necklace, and it's probably platinum, diamonds, whatever. But it was more the shape that took my attention, and it was kind of looked a little bit like that, sort of in like a very short necklace all the way around. Could you do that technique, literally, and continue round?
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. No, you can. The project that you'll get with this kit has all the instructions for making various links. In fact, there's a whole bit on aluminium anyway. And then it's each one of the links. So you've got the spiral one, you've got the leaf-shaped one, you've got the cage one, you've got everything to make the chain,
And you get those instructions with the wire?
You get those instructions, I think, with the wire.
Is that right, Ross?
I'm pretty sure with the wire.
You get the instructions with the wire? For $4.99!
You get those instructions, and each component that you learn in those instructions can be a separate piece of jewellery. So you could just use one of those components and make a pair of earrings.
Oh, I stand corrected.
Oh.
No, you do. You get it with the wire. That's right then.
You get it with the wire. Okay. Phew.
How good's that?
That is good. Well,
for $5 you get that, yeah. It's actually sold out anyway, the wire. Right. Are we ready for the Whammer? Almost half the stock of 43 of each have gone. So obviously people have cross-bought. If you have any questions, now's the time to do it, because literally
Do
Linda
ask.
is the inventor of the Whammer Hammer, and she's here in the studio. So, it's interchangeable, 5 interchangeable heads.
5 interchangeable heads, good for metal sheet, good for blank, metal blank stamping.
Yeah.
I mean, it works on any metal. So, don't feel you've only use it on aluminium.
And this comes from experience in the jewelry, literally making jewellery,
Yeah.
realising that actually you need more control.
Well, it started off when I started working with wire. So I had all the silversmithing tools because I'm trained in metal, and I initially did enamelling. That was my thing. And when I started working with wire, I realised, because I wanted to use wire like my metal sheet. So I wanted to spread it out and sort of form it and make it look more interesting. And texture it as well, so you can texture it. That's when I thought, oh, I need to hold my hammer really high up to control exactly how each blow goes, so I can push the metal in the direction that I want it. And that's when I cut my hammer down and thought, well, this would work and it just changed all my wire working designs, because I could create them like much more like metal pieces.
Yeah.
They look more professional, and they were work hardened.
Now, Ross has just said, do you know when the first Whammer was first launched here at JewelleryMaker? Sorry, the 5-in-1, 2019.
There you go.
So it's been 6 years since we've actually brought you this with the 5 heads. 6 years. It also says almost 200 sold out in 3 minutes.
Wow.
Back in 2019. We have 100 today, jewellery makers. So as soon as the graphics appear, remember 43 have already gone, so actually that leaves 57. So you do need to be quick checking out your baskets, everybody. The auction is live, so you don't need to buy the separate heads. It's one hammer in. It's 5 hammers in one.
Yeah, it's all in one.
I love that.
And you can always ask me any questions later about, your hammering questions.
And one thing we haven't really spoken about is the weighting of the hammer, because I know that's really important, isn't it, with hammering?
Absolutely. It's not a toy. It looks, that's why I was a bit disappointed when Beadsmith coloured it, because to me, when I saw it after they manufactured, I said, it doesn't look like a proper jewellery tool. Do you know what I mean?
Because of the colouring.
Yeah, because of the colouring.
Yeah.
It is. That's why when you see it
I
on
like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, maybe it, that's why I have to talk about it and show that it does work.
Yes.
But it is absolutely serious.
And I do think
hammer.
you hit the nail on the head. Sorry, just by the fact that you can literally you'll go straight to it in your tool bag, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You amazing. Sorry, I know. I couldn't resist that one. This is flying out the door. Designed by Linda Jones, yours truly. The Whammer is a must-have 5-in-1 tool for every jeweller. The permanent, high-polished, convex steel head is specially designed for flattening, spreading and work hardening, keeping the strike zone at the centre. Oh, I like that. The strike zone. The removable flat nylon head is perfect for smoothing kinks in wire and tempering colour-coated and plated wires without marking surfaces. The brass flathead, is the next stage up from the nylon head in hardness. Use it to press down curves, curled wires, and for using design stamps on metal stamping blocks. Use the pick head to create a linear hatching texture on wire and metal sheet. The small steel dapping head is used to create a dimple texture on wire, 20 gauges and thicker. The short ergonomic handle is designed to provide you with maximum control and accuracy for each strike, and the weighted head does most of the work, so you don't have to strike too hard, keeping your fingers safe. How do you know? I have learned over the last few years here at JewelleryMaker that you know, not all hammers are equal.
No.
You know, if they are cheap and cheerful, there's a reason for that, you know? What I mean by that is, you know, I remember saying this to my husband, who was a carpenter. He was like, I couldn't believe that hammers could cost thousands of pounds. Thousands of pounds. But it is about the weighting and everything like that.
It is about the weight.
So, jewellery makers, this is absolutely flying out the door. It's been 6 years since we've actually had this Wham hammer. I can't believe that. That answers our questions, doesn't it?
Yeah, because we were trying to remember. But you only need to buy it once, and literally you've got a hammer for every jewellery purpose there.
Yeah.
But get the block with
Get the block
Yeah,
too.
you need a block. You can't just have a hammer. You've got to have a block and a hammer too. And it makes your pieces professional. It gives them a finish. You know, it's just so many things to finish. You know, jewellery can be very, very simple, can't it? The design, as long as it's well finished. That's all that matters.
Absolutely, I totally agree with you there. I love those little motifs, those little connectors that you can just literally sit and make connectors.
Yeah.
And you get your money back, you know, 1,000 times over, and then some in actual fact. Jewellery makers, we had 100. They're flying out the door. Well done, everybody. I can see you all there. We are not stopping at $49.99. Don't forget to shop ahead as well on the block. Don't forget that too. That's incredible. $39.99.
That is good. It's 5 hammers in one.
Yeah. Goodness me, that's absolutely amazing.
I can't wait to do another show. I'm hoping my February show, I can, you know, show a few more things like the metal stamping. It'll just come to life with what else you can use it for.
I was going to say you can use other, almost, I don't want to say attachments, but other tools, I guess, alongside it.
Well, no, you don't even need that. I mean, I was going to say, you just need to buy some metal blanks. Stamping blanks. So you don't even have to have a saw. You can buy some metal stamping blanks, and then you can punch, you know, in texture and link them onto ear wires and chain links and whatever, and you've got instant metal jewellery.
Yeah.
And it looks professional.
Wow. Ross has just said something into my ear which has completely surprised me. He says, Elle, we don't stop there.
Oh. That was good.
Okay. Okay, let's just say we will always endeavour to be the most competitive. Let's just put it that way. It's not always possible, but we will always endeavour to be. And on this occasion, I think we're doing pretty well at this.
Yeah, today is fantastic.
Jewellery makers. It is National Linda Day, as we have just named it. That's not actually a thing, just so you know. We're just saying it's going to be National Linda Day. Jewellery makers, we had 100 of these. They're absolutely flying out the door. In 37 seconds, we go even lower. So whether you're the first person or the very last person, everybody will pay that final low. It's one post and packaging all day, which when you think about hammers and steel blocks and things like that, they start getting heavy, don't they?
Yep.
But still only one post and packaging all day. It's not closing at $39.99. This is going to sell out. It sold out previously 6 years ago. I can't believe it was 6 years ago. That is, like, it's true. Time speeds up as the older you get, doesn't it? It is true.
Oh, well, I think it was that lockdown. It's sort of...
Yeah, it
the
is.
world stopped, didn't it? And then
Yeah.
you couldn't remember the before and after.
No.
Sort of. Yeah. If you've got the bangle mandrel, fantastic.
Oh, yes. Have a look on the website as well, Jewellery Makers, because we brought you the metal bangle mandrel, didn't we?
Yeah.
Which obviously would work perfectly with this. Are there any do's or don'ts with the Whammer hammer?
Not really. Just watch your fingers.
Watch your fingers.
Yeah.
And you've got that short handle, so you get more control.
Yeah.
Whereas a longer handle, less control.
Exactly. I mean, when you get it, you can if you want. You don't have to, because it undoes very easily, but you can put a bit of engine oil on the thread and or a little bit inside where your interchangeable heads go, and that will keep it oiled for longer.
Yeah,
you
don't get it wet, obviously.
Don't get it, no, don't leave it in the rain.
No jewellery making tools should be getting wet.
No.
No, because they rust, don't they? And you don't want that.
So that's the must. Don't keep it in the garden. Don't use it, because don't forget, this is a planishing head, which is slightly convex. So don't use it for hammering a nail.
No.
Because you'll ruin it.
Yes, not for your DIY.
No DIY, no, just your metal.
This is for your beautiful jewellery.
Yeah.
For your beautiful jewellery, not for your DIY odds and jobs. Jewellery makers, make sure you're checking out. We had 100. How are we looking now, Roscoe? I know there's a little queue. Less than 20 remain, so it is going to be an on-screen sellout. You can add the steel block. You do need it. If you're getting the Whammer Hammer, you need a steel block as well. That one is particularly attractive as steel blocks go.
It is. It's on a sort of rubber base, which I think takes up some of the noise. It absorbs.
Well, it wasn't especially noisy when you were hammering then. No. And sometimes, I'll be honest, I'm like, oh, because we have got a studio next door, but that wasn't noisy at all.
Yeah, on a mat and with that base, it really doesn't do your head in.
Yeah, it deadens the noise quite considerably. So you can shop ahead on the steel block as well, jewellery makers. We have a Linda messaging into the studio. Hi, Linda in Staffordshire, saying, hi, I have the original black and silver Whammer with the dapping head, bought from Jewellery Maker.
2016.
2016. Goodness me. 16th of the 11th, 16. Used a lot and still perfect. Great show. Oh, there we go.
Oh, see, it goes back. I was only 10 then.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't, Linda, you know what? If we get talking about these like ages and everything, honestly, we talked about the millennium at New Year. Lauren wasn't born.
No.
Lauren wasn't born.
Oh my gosh.
Becky was 3.
No.
I know. I was in the pub. Yeah. Hello, Janet. So chuffed, got mine. So black handle one can be for travelling, and this one's for home. Perfect. There you go. That's a perfect. Why? Because you can never have too many tools, can you?
No, and if you're someone who has a craft stall, and sometimes you have, there are not many people around, and you want to be demonstrating on the side just to bring people in.
Yeah.
You've got everything in there. You can actually flatten and work harden. You can texture while they're watching, and you'll get people come to your.
Oh, absolutely.
stand. Yeah.
We're naturally very inquisitive, aren't we, as a species?
Yeah.
So if someone's doing things, we like to. What's that? Especially when it's like if you can maybe see a few of your beautiful display pieces, your jewellery pieces on. Out, people want to see the process. Yeah. Well done, everybody. £34.99. Congratulations. We've got how many? Okay, single figures left. So if it's in your basket, make sure you check it out. Hello, Jane in Worcestershire saying, I keep my workshop locked so no one borrows my precious jewellery tools. Great show. Thank you, Linda. Looking forward to your February show as well, she says. Yes, we hear that a lot, Jane. Yeah. I've noticed it now. Actually, not with my husband. Like I said, he's not really likely to steal my tools for anything. I suppose maybe DIY. But my 8-year-old daughter, things have started sort of migrating into her bedroom. I've noticed. Hello, Yorkshire. Thanks for a lovely show. So informative and inspirational. It's been wonderful, hasn't it? Really enjoyed that.
Well, it's one of those things that once you get the hang of it, you just get addicted to it almost. But it's so instant. I think that's what you saw, how quick it was,
and how quick that sort of the work hardening process was as well.
Yeah,
thought that was incredible. We did bring a steel a bangle mandrel. So you can have a little look back on the website and get hold of that too. £34.99. Don't forget the steel block. Still got the steel block to do as well, haven't we? There's only 6 of these remaining though. Jewellery makers now 5, now 4. You get the idea. So I've not seen this steel block before.
No, I hadn't. That's the first time I've seen it.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it?
It's very nice.
One thing you did mention was some blanks, so we're going to quickly sneak these in.
Yeah. I mean, if you're getting the Whammer Hammer, if you can get some blanks, you'll be able to work those texturing heads on it.
Yeah. And these aren't just any blanks, they're silver blanks.
Ooh.
10mm, you can see the 925 stamp there.
Yeah.
So you get 5 of them. £24.99. So in the Linda's next show, which will be in February now, you're hoping to use actual stamping.
I'm hoping to use some steel punches, you know, stamps to do decorative detail on them as well as the texture.
Nice.
But those that you're selling now, Elle, you could, if anyone has alphabet, you know, letters or whatever, they could because do that and then do some dapping, use the dapping head around to texture it so it sparkles a bit.
Oh, beautiful. Absolutely love that. You get 5. They are brand new as well, Jewellery Makers. So that's £5 each. And we've had jump rings as well today. We're not stopping there. 80 available of these, Jewellery Makers.
Do you know
and
what?
already you're flying in for them.
Just put them on ear wires. And you've just got 2 lovely textured circles as ear wires. Yeah, earrings.
$12.99 for 5.
It's been a good show.
I can't. Yeah, the savings that you've brought today, Roscoe, have been absolutely epic. I mean, I know you're good. You are good. He does good deals every day of the week, but they've been absolutely unbelievable today. I mean, look at that. That is a thing of beauty, as is.
Yeah, I would want to texture it though.
Of course.
That's me.
Of course. And you've got the perfect tool to do it. They are brand new, Jewellery Makers. Again, make sure you're checking out your basket. So you do get 5 of them. 5 of those. Yeah. We got to move on because time is ticking by. Right. Out of 100, 63 of the steel blocks have gone. We'll do it in one price crash. No messing around. You need your steel block, don't you?
You do. You have to have it with a hammer.
So you can't just use like a chopping board?
No. It wouldn't. You have to have steel on steel to work harden. You can hammer on a chopping board, but it won't work harden it like it does on metal.
And might texture it as well, I suppose. You might put an imprint on the underside.
Well, it'll definitely imprint this chopping board.
That's what I mean, yeah. So we've just found one online. £27, what's that? And 93p. 30 quid, let's say. Wow. Let's match it. Okay. It's heavy, this, by the way. You're going to be able to get the Whammer hammer and the steel block today for less than 30. Sorry, for less than 50 to get combined. $14.99 for the steel block.
And that's for life. You don't need to ever buy it again. You know what I loved about the round? Normally their steel blocks are square.
Yes, I've seen those.
But having the round block means you can hammer, you'll just get an edge and hammer just that edge.
Yeah, you can.
While often with a square you can't.
You can't do that. You can go to Amazon and pay £27 or £28. Or you can get it from us right now at $14.99. It's a special show though, Jewellery Makers. You can get both of these for £50. How good is that, Jewellery Makers? Well done, everybody. It's absolutely flying out the door. Absolutely incredible. It is going to sell out, as is the Whammer hammer. So well done, everybody. Oh, mate, what a lovely show. What a great show. Do you want to talk about what's coming up on tomorrow's show? You're going to be joined by the wonderful Carol. And Carol has, as a early bird, Opal pack early bird. So that's absolutely incredible. They're amazing, says director Adam. Then at 8 o'clock, you have a lovely sterling silver selection. At 10 o'clock, you have your Jewellery Maker storage bags. They are back in stock. Then at 11 and 12... you have Beck. A new supplier. Ooh. Is she from Hobby Maker? What does she supply? Resins and moulds. Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
I love resin. So make sure you tune in for that, Jewellery Makers. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. Linda, it has been absolutely wonderful having you on our screens again.
Oh, well, Elle, I hope you feel better too. Hope I haven't exhausted you with this show.
Not at all. Genuinely, I meant it. I was really looking forward to today's show. So yeah, and it has flown by. So that speaks volumes, doesn't it?
I promise it won't be another 6 years.
No, we've only once a month. You said
Once
you're
a
coming
month,
in. That's
yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And you know, and you've got what, over 20 years? Did you say, of jewellery making?
25, yeah.
25 years.
And 9 books.
9 books.
9 books.
A tool.
A tool.
There's lots still we can learn from Linda. So
and a YouTube channel with lots of free tutorials.
Right, so make sure you have a little look at that then, Jewellery Makers as well. Is it literally Linda Jones?
It's Linda Jones Wire Jewellery.
There you go. Find her on YouTube. Yeah. I'm back with you next week, Jewellery Makers. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Big love to Linda, everybody. Thank you once again, Linda. Enjoy the rest of the day, and we will see you very, very soon.
Hi, I'm Rebecca from Bet Makes and I create UV resin jewellery. I'll be bringing UV resin, UV lights, pigments and silicone moulds, which is everything you need to get started with UV resin crafting. Using the UV resin into silicone moulds, you can create cool little trinkets like these. I look forward to seeing you on Jewellery Maker very soon.
Hi, I'm Rachel Smith and I'm guest designer on Jewellery Maker on Monday the 13th of January. I can't wait to meet the team and I can't wait to show you what delights we've got in store for you. Now in the 9 o'clock hour we've got some beautiful beryl gemstones, and then at 12 o'clock we have got some bundles of gemstone nuggets. I'll give you a quick sneaky peek. These are just some of the glorious colours available, and they come with findings boxes in either the silver or the gold, and I'm going to be showing you different ideas of how to use your bundles and also giving you some demonstrations, so hope you can join us then.
Good morning everyone, I hope you're all well. It's Mark here. I am really looking forward to being back in the studio this Saturday, the 11th of January, to amazing project hours. In the 9 o'clock hour, we've got a very limited stock left of my pre-Christmas jadeite butterfly necklace. You get the full kit, you get this incredible carved butterfly with the 2 links. You get all of the seed beads you need, all of the instructions to make this incredible kiss-cross embellished necklace. And then at 12 o'clock, as part of our New Hobby New Year section, we've got the most incredible bundle, which I'm really looking forward to sharing with you. We have got not 1, not 2, but 3 Kumihimo boards, a pack of T-pins, all of the cords you're going to need, amazing glass beads, and for the first time, a brand new style of macrame board. It's absolutely huge, it's brilliant, it's got so many different uses, which I can't wait to show you. So all of that is one bundle in the 12 o'clock hour. So that's this Saturday, the 11th of January. Join myself, Lindsay, Tom and the crew. Cannot wait to share the morning with you.
Oh, don't shout, don't shout. Good morning, Jewellery Makers. Hello, she's in the house. I will apologise in advance for my lurginess. So if at any point, you know, I sneeze, cough, yeah, I'm riddled. I'm absolutely riddled. Can I just say thank you to our beautiful Lindsay Vickers as well? Isn't she gorgeous? Isn't she? I've known Lindsay years. We went to India together, Lindsay and I. Yeah. No, like before kids, before both of us had kids. Yeah, she's gorgeous and she's an absolute ray of sunshine. So thank you, Lindsay, if you're watching, for stepping in. Oh, but what a Thursday we have planned for you. It's a brand new year, new hobby, and also the first time since I've seen this beautiful lady in a very long time. Oh, what a privilege to be welcomed by the wonderful Linda.
Oh, thank you, Elle. And you're such a trooper for coming in.
Bless you. Well, I didn't want to miss the show, that's the thing. Really didn't want... I'll stay over here, though, because I don't want you to catch lurgy.
Okay,
so
stay there.
Keep me at arm's distance. I promise I won't be offended. But truly, I didn't want to miss today's show because I know it is going to be absolutely incredible. And it's been such a long time since you and I have been on air together.
Yep, lots of things have happened. I haven't done any shows, in fact. I think it's way before pre-COVID time, isn't it?
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it's that many years ago.
Yeah, and that is the last show I did.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Where does time go though, Linda? Because it doesn't seem like that long.
No, now being back with all the gemstones around me, oh my God, I'm in heaven.
She's in heaven, and I understand. It's an absolute delight to have you with us, and I understand this is going to be a permanent thing.
Well, once a month.
We love that.
Yeah.
Once a month, I'm happy with that. We get to see your amazing skills. Now, if Linda is a new face to you all, you're not new to jewellery, though, are you?
No, not at all. No, I don't know how long I've been making jewellery. I think it's about over 25 years now.
25 years.
But different things, different times. And I've written books, I've designed a tool, I run workshops. My main thing, I would say, is running workshops. I love teaching and passing on my passion, enthusiasm, and, well, you know, I'm specialist in wire and metal, so wire is my thing.
That's your passion.
It's my thing.
Oh, and do you know, I mean, I've been here now 12 years here at JewelleryMaker, and
wow.
Wire work, I think, was probably one of our biggest mediums. And it's lovely now because there was a period where we kind of almost didn't see much of it here at JewelleryMaker for, I think it was supply reasons, really. Anyway, but it's lovely to see it coming back into the fold once again. And seeing designs, I'm looking around the desk in front of you there, Linda, seeing designs like this, because you can get so creative with wire work, can't you?
Well, I'm hoping, you know, today is, what is it, new year, new hobby, new you.
Yes.
I'm hoping that people that haven't touched wire before are not going to be scared of it. What I'm going to show them is simple starting sort of techniques, and it's not scary at all.
So even if you've never done any wire work before, give it a try.
Yeah, give it a try.
You've got your brand new tool as well. Say brand new. We've it might be new to our viewers.
Yes,
some of our viewers anyway. Your tool which you invented, which is,
well, it's the Whammer hammer. I didn't invent the hammer, obviously, but it was actually, it's been around for a while.
Yes.
This is the one with 5 heads on it. So it's a multi-tool hammer. So you've got different heads for different things. You know, some are for texturing, some are for flattening, some are for... well, it's just for different wires, basically. So it's your all-round jewellery hammer in one. So you don't have to have lots of different hammers, you know, to store.
Which can get heavy and also, I suppose, expensive as well if you're buying them all. Sorry, the pennies just dropped with director Adam. He was like, oh, the Whammer hammer. Linda's the Whammer hammer. Yes.
I'm the Whammer hammer lady.
There you go. Because Adam, you knew the tool, didn't you? Well, now you can put the face to it, can't you? Linda was the inventor of it. So, we're going to have a wonderful show, Linda. We've got an absolutely jam-packed show as well around her amazing demonstrations. Of course, if you've got any questions for Linda, do text in, everyone. Lots of interaction, as always, here at JewelleryMaker. And it's lovely to welcome Linda back into the JewelleryMaker family. So let's go through the menu, see what we've got on show for you today. Your 8 o'clock hour JewelleryMakers, your early bird is 1,000 open jump rings. 1,000 of them.
Goodness.
Now they're available in different sizes as well. They're available to pre-order right here, right now. There's 5 sizes in all, and I can speak from personal experience here because I actually shared this. Pre-Christmas, I bought, and I told you this at the time, but I bought the teachers, so both my daughters, Willow and Tiggy's teachers, the little owl, the amber owl for their teachers. Now, when that arrived, I was like, okay, wonderful. Panic, because I didn't make it up in advance. Of course, I leave everything to the last minute. And then when it came to actually attaching it to the chain, I realised, oh no, I haven't got a jump ring. So I wouldn't have had time to order them from JewelleryMaker, so I had to, I know, don't tell me off, I had to order them online. So I ordered it from that River website, and I have to say they came and they weren't great. They're very flimsy, really flimsy, didn't quite close properly, so I wasn't really very happy with what I actually gifted in the end. So don't make the same mistake that I make, jewellery makers. Make sure that you have enough jump rings, because they are integral, aren't they, Linda?
They are super integral. They connect everything together, and I would say that kit is perfect for chain mail.
Yes.
Anybody who's doing chain mail, they'll love it.
Because you need masses.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
So, now, sorry, there's 150 available opportunities, 1,000, and you get, 200 of each of those sizes, of course, yes, because there's 5 different sizes. So they are available on the website as we speak. Jewellery Makers, all the W's at JewelleryMaker.com. If you click Watch Live, scroll down, you can see all the items on there. Remember, you need to check those out before the top of the hour because they disappear. So early bird deals for you this morning, alongside lots of other goodies on there. 9 o'clock, I know you're all excited about this. We officially welcome lovely Linda back into the Jewellery Maker family. What's your first projects all about then, Linda?
Well, the first project involves some gorgeous little coin faceted beads. They're 4mm. I think there's amethyst, neon apatite, and some spinel, black spinel.
Lovely.
And they're really gorgeous. They're a little bit like little coin beads, you know, that type. I mean, I looked at them and I thought, who facets these? Are they done by hand?
Yes.
I couldn't believe how beautiful they were, because each one is faceted.
And they're brand new as well.
And they're brand new, are they?
Now, you've got, just so you know, you have Zambian amethyst there, which is famed for being some of the finest in the world. You have natural black spinel, you know, and you're talking about those faceting, faceting, each of those facets creates like this wonderful mirror-like luster with black spinel. It's absolutely exceptional. And then last but by no means least, you have the most exquisite neon apatite, a very difficult gemstone to get hold of. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, whenever we bring neon apatite to air, especially in this cut, they go absolutely crazy. There was a period where actually coins were the most popular, weren't they? Our #1 cut. Oh, the Thomas... Oh, yes, sorry, yeah, the Ashley Clark biography bracelet, yes. Ross was just asking me, what was the bracelet you always reference when we're talking about this gemstone? If you Google Ashley Clark biography bracelet, I'm not sure if they still do it in apatite, but it's worth a little look. Anyway, it's a really simple kind of tennis-style bracelet design with faceted coins like this. It's going to set you back £135. Here it is with black spinel. I mean, I know jewellery makers, you could make that. It's not that difficult, or make a version of it anyway. Yeah. Ignore that, because it's actually jumped up in price. It's now £168. So we're giving you the material to sort of create a version, a unique version, and you're going to be able to create masses with a full strand. So that's an exciting 9 o'clock hour, jewellery makers, with the return of your faceted coins, and of course welcoming back Linda to the Jewellery Maker family. Then at 10 o'clock, jewellery makers, it is one of my favourite gemstones. I think we've made no secret of that, jewellery makers. It's one of your favourite gemstones, more importantly. We have malachite. We've got malachite back with some of your favourite cuts, brand new premieres galore, the finest quality. The clovers, just giving you a little bit of a heads up, will sell out today. They will sell out today for sure. Look at the quality. You know, the separations of those colours. We haven't had a malachite purchase in a long time. We've had to wait quite a long time, and that's because of the popularity of the gemstone. We know that I think we'd have had to been hiding in a cave somewhere to have missed the fact that this gemstone is absolutely everywhere in all of the luxury jewellery brands. You've got Rolex, you've got Van Cleef & Arpels, you've got Chopard, you've got Cartier, you've got all of them working with this gemstone. So it makes it more challenging for us to buy jewellery makers, but it has happened, and we've got it in the most amazing shapes. Cubes, rectangles, clovers, through drill drops as well, which I'm absolutely loving. And we've also got it in your favourite rounds. So that's going to be an awesome showcase. That's your deal of the day. Then at 11 o'clock, it's all about your beautiful Alashan agate. Now, one of the newest gemstones to the folds. I've recently learned this, actually, that it's one locational. So it's from Inner Mongolia. Very difficult to actually to mine, which usually adds to the high price tag that you can see it elsewhere. Not going to be the case today, though, jewellery makers, because of course you shop with Jewellery Maker. So we're going to bring that natural, beautiful gemstone to you at the most unbelievable price. Then at 12 o'clock, we're back with Linda. I will stay at distance, though. Don't be offended, Linda.
I won't be offended.
I'm doing it for your benefit. But at 12 o'clock then we have the 5-in-1 Deluxe Whammer tool. So the one we've just mentioned.
Yep. And I'm also going to introduce you to aluminium wire.
Ooh.
So that's a new thing. How to work and make jewellery out of aluminium.
So is that softer?
Yeah. It's going to be great for people with dexterity problems. But not just that, it just gives you a different look.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's just so quick and easy to use and malleable, as you can imagine. So most people think it's too soft, but you can harden it with the Whammer.
Oh, I tell you what. So we've got everything that you need to be working with a new wire. How amazing is this show going to be? It's going to be fantastic. Now, Jewellery Makers, lots of messages, of course, into the studio. We would love, love, love to hear from you. Welcome our wonderful Linda back. We've got a message. Hello, hello, hello. This is a message from Linda in Falkirk. Hello, Linda. Morning, lovelies. You read out my waff, and I think I won it yesterday, Linda. You're Linda Falkirk, sorry. Linda, if you are Linda Wright, you will see it at 10 o'clock on the outro to the Wall of Fame. Well, congratulations. So Lindsay and Claire picked you out of the tombola. Oh, well done, lovely. That's a nice start to the year, isn't it? You got to be in it to win it. You've just seen Linda and Falkirk.
It's the Linda show.
It is. It is. It is. My mum's called Linda as well, so I'm all about the Lindas. And a Linda came second too.
Oh no, I don't believe that. She's made up that name. Come on.
No, true story.
It is the Linda show.
3 Lindas. You won the Wall of Fame, you were runner-up in the Wall of Fame, and we've got Linda in the show. Oh,
it's the right
amazing.
day.
It is the perfect day. So keep your eyes peeled then, Linda in Falkirk, for your wonderful piece of jewellery, and congratulations. Hello, Miss Jan. Hello, my darling. Hiya, gorgeous girls and Team Jewellery Maker. Welcome back, Linda. I hope you're feeling better, Elle. A bit. I don't sound better. I don't sound much better, but thank you, darling. I didn't want to miss out on today's show. So we were just saying, no, surely that can't be true. Can't have a Linda win and a Linda runner-upper. Here it is, Linda in North Yorkshire. Good morning, all. Welcome back, Linda. Love the Whammer Hammer. I won second prize waff yesterday. Thank you.
Wow.
So, Adam, now going to change his name by default to Linda, because clearly it's a lucky name. Lots of messages into the studio, Jewellery Makers. We would love... Yeah, should I change my name as well? Yeah, okay. Okay,
you and your mum.
Hey? Yeah, my mum's name's Linda. Linda, yeah, or I call her Diddy one, no, my mum. So, but she is a Linda because my mum's only little. She's only little. She's only 5'1". I always used to call her go on, Diddy one, because I'm not particularly tall. I'm 5'6", but she's really little next to me. Come on, Diddy one. Right then, should we get cracking? Shall we? because it's going to be an awesome show. Oh, sorry. Just putting it up a little bit here.
Revive her.
Oh my dear. Oh my goodness. Start with what, sorry? Pink. Okay, it might just be me, to be honest. Okay, these ones. I got them. Sorry. It's just, it just takes me a while. Right then, big agate. Oh, this is lovely. They're beautiful. Think rose quartz, but deeper colour. Oh, that's lovely. Think brown chronix, but agate and pinker. Absolutely amazing. No. I know it is, but it doesn't seem right, Ross. Will you forgive me for not doing the Frank Butcher this morning? Come on, Bex, I need you to step in, because I don't think my voice will manage it. Go on. There you go. There you go. Amazing. Thanks, Bex. She does it even better than I do anyway. Next up, let's do the yellow. Yeah, beautiful. Oh, thank you. That's wonderful. Sorry, Lauren's just blasted a fan on me because I'm burning up over here. Right then, let's do some beautiful sunshine yellows. 6mm rounds. You know what's happening, don't you, jewellery makers? You know it. Ready, Bex? Yeah, it is. Right on cue that was as well. Amazing. See, you don't need me. You don't need me. You've got Bex. She can take over. She got this covered. You'd have a hoot with Bex, I tell you. Life and soul of the party is our Becky. Well done. Right, let's now bring you. We've had the delicate pink. We've had the sunshine yellows. Now let's have the azure blue. Oh, look at this. I love this strand. Ross, I'd buy this. 8 mils. I can guess how much it is. Can you? Becky, how much is this? Yes! Sorry, Linda.
No, I like it.
This is what we do. This is how we start every show. How Ross likes to start every single show with crazy £1 deals.
I think it's great.
It's a good way to start your day, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, makes you feel good.
Beautiful, genuine gemstones as well. And it doesn't just start on the live show, you know. For all of those early worms out there, make sure you're checking out the website, all the W's at JewelleryMaker.com, because there's more deals to be had right there.
Did you know that you can shop for pre-show deals on Jewellery Maker? Head over to JewelleryMaker.com every day between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. Click on Watch Live. Scroll down for brilliant products, last of stock items and amazing deals. But these deals are only available for 1 hour, and once they're gone, they're gone. Happy shopping with Jewellery Maker.
Okay, right, jewellery makers, there's more amazing deals to be had. Oh, we're going to have a laugh today as well. Lots of inspiration. You've got our lovely Linda for that. You get the kicks. You get the kicks and giggles from Bex. Absolutely. Thank you, darling. Yeah, whatever they say about us, can't ever say that we don't have a laugh. We certainly do. Seriously, serpentine though. We don't see serpentine very often here at Jewellery Maker. Quite often carved in the same way that jade is. It's a beautiful, zesty key lime pie. Now, the first price that you're going to see, Jewellery Makers, is a previous closing price for this very strand. Yeah, absolutely amazing. $49.99 in your 4 mils. 30 seconds, we're going to see how many of you are up and at it bright and early on this gorgeous Thursday morning. You've got split pay there. You know we shouldn't be going lower on split pay. But I think I've got a funny feeling that that's precisely what Ross is going to do. He says, I'm going lower, all right, in a big way. Just how low, though? Ross says, I don't think you realise how low.